We are live. We are here once again.
Sweet, sweet, live and ready to go. We got some crazy subjects to talk about today too.
Oh yeah, you remember what they are?
I remember them vividly.
Okay. You want to let everyone know?
I'll let you do it. I'll let you do it.
Okay, sure.
No,
Um.
I really do remember, but I let you. You know, you're the guy. You
All
do
right. I mean,
that.
you can tell everyone then. Why not? You're the co-host. Come on.
You're the guy, man. You're the guy, man. Hey, listen, I'm jamming
Okay.
out.
All right.
I'm jamming out right now. You gotta.
Yeah. Yeah. No. You're vibing, as the kids would say, right?
Yeah, that's toe jamming Earl music. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what it is. All right, go ahead. Stop keeping these people waiting and just tell them the subjects. Damn it.
All right. All right. All right. So, Ghost of Yotei boycott.
I knew about that one.
Of course. Yeah. I know you did. Yeah. Borderlands 4 Backlash. You know
Yep,
that
I
one
knew
too,
about
right?
that one too. Yep, I did.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
Okay.
saying. This we're on the same
All right.
page,
All right.
bro.
All right, you got it. You got it. And Localizer hired by major Japanese game studio.
I actually did forget that one though. I
Oh,
actually
okay,
did
yeah.
forget
All right,
that one.
all right.
So that one,
That,
that one,
that
that one,
that's
I did.
understandable.
That one I did actually forget, but the other two I knew. But
Right,
all
right,
right.
right.
So
Okay.
yeah, we got some good stuff going. Is it? We got
Yes,
some good subjects.
yes. But before we move on with that, I should probably get people up to speed on the fuckery that's been going on this week. So I had uploaded a video. I forgot when. I think it was Wednesday. I want to say Wednesday. Obviously, about Charlie Kirk's death, and more so about the developers mocking and disrespecting his death. I did bring up Synthetic Man in regards to what he was saying, because obviously there's some YouTubers that are also saying some fucked up shit about it, or just like being very cold and lacking any empathy and whatnot. So, and oddly enough, I believe it was Friday night, I was informed that the video was removed from YouTube. And the reasoning had to do with cyberbullying and harassment. And it showed it actually did show me where in the video this alleged cyberbullying and harassment occurred, which was 50 something seconds within the intro, which the intro was a clip that I found on YouTube from and in which that person that uploaded that video had uploaded it 5 years ago, I think around 2020, and it has like maybe 7,000 views, 5,000 views, or whatever. I mean, it doesn't matter. So it was that video is still there, obviously, and the same compilation of Democrats calling for violence against Republicans was also shown in other channels such as Sky News Australia. I'm sure it's been shown on Fox News channel, and maybe Newsmax and One America News, or even other like political commentators on YouTube as well. So I'm suspecting two things, or maybe one of two things. YouTube being YouTube, because or should I call? I should probably call them LibTube, because they're very selective on what they choose to have on their platform. Or it was a group of parasocial cells. You may know where I'm going with that. Who reported the video, because the video after that video, I lost a lot of subscribers. So I'm assuming a lot of people were very bothered that I talked about their favorite YouTuber, because God forbid you criticize anyone or hold anyone accountable, or that there's no way someone you like can ever have a bad take, because you got to agree with them no matter what on everything. So not sure which one, or which what it ended up being, but uh, I did edit the video um yesterday, so I will be re-uploading it tomorrow, Monday. It will have a different intro, but it will still display how some of these Democrats, specifically game developers, are towards Republicans, and Madar will be very happy with what I was able to put together because it was something he reminded me of that I completely forgot. So it will be there. The original video though that was taken down will be on Rumble. I
Madad.
have Madar, Madar,
Madad.
Madar, Madar. Any
Madad. Yeah. I
anyway,
like Madad. Madad is cool.
yeah, he
Cool
is. He is.
guy.
Yeah, he is.
Madad. All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Um.
continue.
So the original video will be on Rumble. I made it Rumble yesterday. So I will be archiving any of my videos going forward, starting tomorrow with the original video that I had uploaded on Wednesday about the whole Charlie Kirk and developers mocking his death and whatnot. So I should have a link to it in the description on tomorrow's video. So hopefully the people who watched the video, liked the video, commented, will come again for tomorrow's video. I highly doubt it. I'm sure this video is going to do pretty poorly due to the fact that
It's a re-upload. Yeah.
yeah, it's a re-upload and whatnot. So it is what it is. So I'm just have to take the L on that. And yeah, so that's what's
Yeah.
been going on. So
Well, as far as that, I think that it probably is likely somebody reported the video because, like you said, those other videos have been there forever. You know.
mm-hmm.
So the fact that they've been there forever, and nobody, and those videos are still up, it's
Mm-hmm.
likely that somebody reported it. It also shows you how flawed YouTube is because they still do that dumbass algorithm shit for reports, and really YouTube has enough money to hire humans to do all of the analytics and investigation involved in like videos getting reported, because I don't believe a human
Oh yeah.
saw that video. I don't believe a human actually saw your video, no matter what YouTube says, and came to that conclusion. Because a competent person would say, okay, this clip is. Let's look at where this clip is from. Anyone who watches your videos knows that they're not that you didn't create those clips, right? So common sense would say, let's check on. If I was a person who's investigating, I'll check if other videos exist on YouTube that are obviously the same footage, and if they do and those videos are up, then I would argue that it's obviously completely unfair to punish you when those videos exist, especially when nothing that you said actually called for any violence directly on your behalf, and within the context of the video you're actually condemning the behavior, so there's no real reason why that video should have been taken out.
Exactly.
But
Or at
like I
least
said,
could have
like,
gotten, I don't know, maybe a warning or something,
but why should
or
you
I
get a
don't know.
well?
And
Why you don't even need a warning because
yeah, I
you
know.
didn't do
Yeah,
anything. You just analyzed
yeah, I didn't.
what those people said based on a compilation that already exists on YouTube. That's what I'm saying. A
Yeah,
competent person, if it was really done by a human, they would say, "Wait a minute. Obviously, this small YouTuber did not actually like have people being interviewed or like clip this like himself. Obviously, this is coming from like major like major channels or publications, whatever you want to call it, networks.
yeah,
So obviously it must exist on YouTube. And if it does, then all those videos collectively should be taken down. And if
yep,
not, then it shows you that it's completely biased, which we know it is. I guess my point is that it's obvious that humans don't look at the actual like videos being reported. It's very
yep.
clear to me that no matter what they say about a combination of humans and AI or whatever, it's like BS. It's mostly algorithm like bullshit.
Yeah. The other annoying part is I couldn't even explain in the appeal. All I could do was just appeal it. So it's like, all right, they're gonna look over it again and just come to the same conclusion because I can't even explain that. What they're claiming is
It's false.
cyberbullying and harassment. Yeah, is false. So
I think even X allows you to like put like a message of why you like are reporting something, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
So I think that like even X does that, but I talked about X before. X still has like issues with censorship, no matter who's in charge. But that's a whole nother thing. Like I said,
Yeah.
you can't say there's no that if you say a man can't be a woman, then X takes it down. And Elon Musk is all about all this shit about free speech and whatever, but yet somehow I can still get posts taken down for saying that, which is something that
Yeah.
he himself agrees with. But whatever,
Yeah. It's weird. He
it's
definitely
really
ought to get.
weird.
He has to fix that for sure.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he just is like like doesn't care or is just unaware of the depth of how bad it is. Like,
Hmm.
because who knows how many of the people working for Exis are still leftists. But
Yeah. Who knows?
anyway, yeah,
Um.
back to YouTube. Yeah, so it sucks about that. But at least with Rumble, you'll have a backup.
Yeah, at least so. Like I said, people can check me out on there. It's under the same name, Revenant Remnant. If you look for it, I'll have again, like I said, I'll have the link to the video that will be on Rumble in the description for tomorrow's video, in case anyone wants to see the I guess you can say uncensored version of the video or the original version, because it's
Well, that would be
basically the same
uncensored.
for the
That
most
would be
part.
uncensored then.
Yeah, yeah, you're
Um,
right. Yeah.
I was actually considering making a Rumble too, just because the nature of my animation, I want to be able to like go all out with like what I'm trying to do. And I feel like at
Hmm.
some point X is gonna, I mean, I'm sorry, not X. I feel like YouTube is gonna like start to like crack down on like ad suitability and shit because of like, the violent nature of it.
Right.
So I'm starting to think that maybe making a Rumble to have like full uncensored stuff on there, because even like my first episode of Augur, I had some challenges with like ad suitability and stuff like that, where like I had to like kind of like fight with them a little bit for them to just
Dude.
get the video, uploaded in its real like true state. Like they wouldn't
Right.
even let me like they kept taking down my shorts of Augur because of like the how bloody it is. So I was like, all right, cool.
Hmm.
YouTube might not be the platform for this. Again, though,
Yeah,
you
that might be
can,
a good idea.
but again, you can do Mortal Kombat fatalities as long as the blood is blue. That
All
means it's
right.
not violent. It's blue blood. You're still seeing their skeleton and their face being ripped off, but hey, the
How
blood's
many
blue.
shorts of MMA fights with it fucking bloody as hell and shit?
Well, like
People
like
get you.
the one I showed you the other day where Mark Hunt was fighting Junior Dos Santos, and you saw Mark Hunt's like mouth was like covered in freaking blood. It was crazy. And
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, YouTube's like, yeah, this is a sport. It's okay. It's all right. It's a sport.
Yeah, it's okay.
So
Yeah, it's fine. That's all it is.
UFC makes a
uh,
lot of money, and therefore makes us a lot of money. So we'll allow it.
yeah. Yep. That's how it is. Yeah. So let me catch up to some comments, and then we can let people on for that. And oh well, before then, we'll also reiterate what we were saying last time about like the new rules we're gonna try to implement to make things like smoother and all that good
Yeah. So
stuff.
everyone, I'll go over them while you start sending links and stuff.
Right.
So one thing is like we've been trying to keep it more concise. So first and foremost, if you don't have an opinion on the subject, you do not need to talk about it. If you don't want to talk about it, you shouldn't. Don't feel forced. Like just because you're on the panel, you have to talk about every subject that's on here, because it just kind of wastes time when if someone's fumbling. And again, it's not like an attack on anybody. It's just in general, where like you're fumbling around trying to find and think about how you feel about it in the moment. If you don't really have like a strong opinion about it or anything like really you know, anything that's really like deeper to say about it outside of like, oh, it's bad or whatever, it's probably best to just skip the subject and talk about the ones that you're really interested in. Also, keeping it concise would be good, just because, we have limited time. There's a lot of people that want to speak, and we try to give everyone a chance. So, in order to do that, we can't be here for 6 hours. It's like kind of like not acceptable. It's kind of unacceptable to be on for 6 hours, right? So got to keep it concise. And like I said, if you're not sure about what to talk about, then, it is what it is. Like, you don't have to. It's okay. And also, if me and Revenant decide to try to speed things up and say, all right, don't take it personal if you feel like, you're getting cut off, or if you feel like you're getting, if we're trying to like get things to like speed along a bit. It's not personal. It's just for the sake of the podcast to me. Because I've noticed personally from looking at the numbers, after about like 4 hours or so, the the engagement lowers quite a bit. I feel like a lot of like the main people or like a lot of people like kind of check out after like the first 3 to 4 hours. So even then, it's like just for the sake of like the integrity of the podcast, got to keep it concise. So don't take it personally if somebody says like, all right, can try to get to your point, or try to be more precise or speak things along. It's not personal. It's just kind of like a necessary evil to give everyone the chance to speak. And the good thing is, if we can get through all of the subjects, then maybe we can have some extra time to talk about additional things. But like, usually if it's like 5 or 6 hours, then we just have to like end it. So I hope everyone understands. Don't take it personally. It is what it is.
Yeah, we want to keep it like 3 hours, maybe 3.5 max.
I
Last
think
week we went
four.
a little over that time, but
I
considering it
mhm.
was a very serious, like deep topic, well topics, I guess for the most part. Like there's gonna be some leeway there. Like some people like talk a little bit longer than we would have liked, I guess. But since it was a very important topic, serious one at that, there's gonna be some leeway for sure. Like because I understand people got they have a lot to say about that. It's very important, very serious. So I get that. What this
I
week,
think
it's
I.
not you know
Mhm.
it's not obviously not on that level. You know what I mean?
I
So
think go. I
we're
think.
gonna
I think. I think even if we go to 4 hours, it's not that bad. But like the 5 and 6 hours has to stop.
yeah,
So like,
yeah, for
because I
sure.
think even I think 4 hours is even like all right, it's not that bad. But when you go in like 5 or 6 hours in, it's just too much. It's just too much. And then people, like I said before, people stop like the viewership does go down, right? Revenue, as far as I know, like
It
toward the
does,
fifth
and
and
also the
yeah,
chat,
it dries up, because people
dries
are
up
like
for sure. Like,
they're checked out. It makes sense. I mean,
yeah, I don't
there's a
blame
lot of
them. Yeah, I
YouTubers I
get
like,
checked
but
out too.
I don't know if I can watch them for 6 hours. I don't know if
Yeah,
I can do
same.
that.
Yeah, I usually can. I usually like someone has like a really long stream, whether if they're gaming or talking, like a podcast or whatever. It's like I can't just sit through like that whole entire time. Like maybe like I'll get through like some of it, like portions of it during the week here and there, but most of the time I'm not even watching the whole thing. So the
Like
fact that there are
like
people that may watch it live for the whole amount of time on here, or maybe they watch the replay in its entirety, I appreciate it. But yeah, we definitely gotta you know
yeah,
keep it at a good pace and at a reasonable time for everyone, not just for the people watching, but also us, because it's
yeah,
you just get tired after. You get tired when it's done.
yeah.
It's like you don't want to feel that way. Especially you want to have the
And
rest of your day, rest of the day to do other things too.
also, yeah, because to your point, like even
Especially since it's a Sunday.
when I done full streams of Arkham Asylum and Arkham City and stuff like that, or Resident Evil, it's kind of different in the sense that because I'm doing a full playthrough, at least you're like engaged with like what you're looking at. It's like a full playthrough or something. But like to like when it comes to like just talking about a subject, it's kind of brutal. It's more brutal. It's way more brutal because at least at
Yeah,
least there you
especially
have some
just
you
you're like
have you
usually just sitting like for that period of time. It's not like doing a
yeah.
bunch of other shit.
Yeah, at least with gameplay, you're like looking at something that's like kind of like engaging you visually as well as like with the audio. But even then, so anyway, let's move on. So did you send up the links, Revenant?
I did. I'm still waiting for people to come on. I didn't put the
Okay.
link in the chat though, not yet. Um, do you should I look through? Should I read some of the comments in the chat, or should we
That'll be
skip
a good
that, or
idea.
what?
Might as well. I
Okay,
mean,
okay.
that's good.
So
While we
I'll
wait.
get through some of them as quickly as possible too, because I know I'm gonna be far behind. Latina Parfait wrote, "Unfortunate. I'm sorry. Unfortunate what happened to the video. Hopefully it gets back up." And I had actually respond to that because that was before we had went live.
Okay.
So, and I already explained that, but thank you for that, Latina. Appreciate it. Um,
That's
Atachi
what.
edits. I'm assuming. Huh?
That's Miles. That's Miles. Latina.
Yeah, I figured.
Latina is right. You got to respect a Latina woman's opinion as an independent Latina woman. Don't forget that.
Exactly. Yeah.
But yeah. So
Madara, greetings. What's up? Royce. Game developers need to be accountable. I agree. They should. All of them.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
for what they did to
definitely.
our games. Yep. Uh, rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. Absolutely. Spirit of Paradox. What's up? Where we at?
Hello there.
Keep going. Tasty Z. Randy Bitchford. What a topic. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. He's
Oh
definitely
yeah.
It's what's
Isn't
that
that
saying when you put food in your mouth?
isn't Randy Laptop Boy or what's it called USB drive boy?
I think so. Yeah, wasn't that what Paulo was calling him? Paulo
Yeah,
Patriot
something
was
about
calling
like he married his USB drive or some weird shit like that.
him. Yeah.
Oh my
Let's see.
goodness.
Apollo Patriot. Fuck Ghost of Gay. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, fuck it.
Fuck Ghost of Yoplait, because you know those fat
Royce, yeah,
feminists need to lose
retarded.
that weight.
Oh, definitely.
They need that Yoplait. They need to get that Yoplait yogurt. You know what I'm saying? Ghost of Yoplait. Game made for
Apollo,
fat
YouTube is
feminists.
turning into Blue Sky. Yeah, seems like it. Unfortunately.
What's weird about YouTube is that they don't have a clear definition of what is considered what, because again, some people get a pass while others don't, right? Like UFC makes a shit ton of money, so is UFC less violent because they make a shit ton of money for YouTube? Or like you have like a
Yeah,
big
right.
channel and that big channel generates a lot of ad revenue, because yeah, the person gets paid, but most of that ad revenue goes to YouTube. You're only getting a portion of it. So when you think about it that way, it just seems weird that like the rules bend. I mean, it's obvious why that happens, but the rules bend depending on how much money you generate, how big the channel is. It seems like, yes, big channels sometimes
Mm-hmm.
get banned and whatnot, or they get like their videos taken down. But I feel like it makes no sense for Sky News Australia, whatever it's called, to have a video up unimpeded, but you upload the same clip with context and even are condemning the actions of the people that are in that clip, and you
Mm-hmm.
still have your video taken down. It's like nonsense,
It
completely
is.
nonsense.
Madar, whatever the answer is, it's foul play either way. Oh yeah, definitely is.
Yeah,
Sure is.
you
Where
just you
we're
just
at.
need you just need a token strong feminist Latina female independent woman, so that way you won't be you don't have to worry about getting taken down.
That's
It
probably
gives
my
you.
answer. I gotta identify as something else,
Yeah.
or I can just be like, say in every video, I'm gay. If you didn't know, YouTube.
Yeah. You're gay? I didn't know that.
No, no one knew.
Okay.
KCZ,
You're gay?
YouTube is controlled by a bunch of SARS, so of course they show provincial, sorry, preferential,
Preferential.
treat-
Preferential.
yeah, I got it. Treatment to legacy media channels. You know what? Why don't I just say to YouTube, I'm gay and illiterate? Does that count as anything?
It counts as funny. It's
Octo
funny.
Commander, YouTube is a mess. Yep. Apollo, YouTube is filled with libtards. Mm-hmm. Let me keep
Well, the fact
going.
that the fact that loopholes even exist show you that it's like nonsense. It shows you that it's just like blanketed AI nonsense. Because like again, like I said, you can show the brutal, super hyper realistic Mortal Kombat 11 and X fatalities and one fatalities as long as you make the blood blue. But again, I don't think even if the blood is blue, I want to show a little kid, those fatalities.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the hell is going on with that? It's like I always find it funny when there are loopholes like that, because it basically means that their rule is a complete joke. I'm not saying that I
Mm-hmm.
want censorship. I'm just saying that it shows you how irrelevant their censorship is when you can easily bypass it with tricks, right? It's like, oh, copyright is important. All right, I'm going to show a video clip of Daxter on the side while your video is showing, and now I can just steal your video because I have Daxter on the side is counted as transformative. The fact that that's a loophole that you can do shows you that those rules are meaningless. And if they're meaningless, what's the point of them? You might as well just have an age restriction and just let people have the common sense to do it. And look, if your little kid is watching freaking Mortal Kombat fatalities on YouTube, blue blood or not, it shows you that, hey, maybe you're not doing your job as a parent. So
Yeah, I mean, besides my videos, I have it set where all of it is like on default. It's not made for kids, so I don't have to
yeah, same
constantly like
here.
click it all the time.
Same
So
here. So
yeah.
and then when you think about those videos getting banned, the ones that are not made for kids, which is most of my videos anyway, then you think, all right, so you're basically saying adults are children, and even if your video is not made for children, then it still needs to be censored or changed. You know, it's kind of crazy. It's like saying that you as an adult are not smart enough or competent enough to make your own choices, so we're gonna by of our own volition censor things, even for you as an adult.
Mm-hmm. Let me continue. Apollo Patriot. YouTube bots flagged some of my Russian content way back. Yeah, it's fucked up.
What was your Russian
Um,
content? Well, you know what?
Trash man, uh, trash man guy. What did you call him last week?
I don't remember. He was big. The trash. I just call him the trash man, probably.
Oh, okay. The worst part is if it was reported, then the guilty party may not even be quote unquote libs based on the possible suspects um, eating each other alive out of spite. Yeah.
Yep. We call that crabs in the barrel. We call that cannibalism. We call that blind corporate slave loyalty. Because by doing that, by doing that, not only are you a hypocrite when it comes to free speech, but you're also not only are you a hypocrite, but you're also like, what's the word I'm looking for? You're it shows that you're just completely like, I don't want to say biased. That's not the right word. I don't know how to explain it. Just like it just shows that you stand, all the things you say you stand for are nothing. They mean nothing. Because if someone says something you don't
Mhm.
like, you want to take away their freedom, which is why I disagree with Pam Bondi talking about, she has to limit hate speech because again, like then we're gonna circle back to where we started with, right? Because as she was saying, that's what she was saying. So the fact that Synthetic Man's people or whoever it may be that did that are like, well, we agree, but I don't like that you talked about the person I like, so I'm gonna try to get your video taken down. Kind of shows that they never stood for anything to begin with,
Yeah. Maybe
in my
maybe it was
opinion.
someone from Cybertron.
Maybe, I don't know. I honestly don't
Who
know. But
knows?
what I do know is that if that does turn out to be true, and if it is true, um, yeah, it just shows that you are just as bad as any leftist. That's my opinion on it.
Yeah. Exactly. Let me skim through some of these.
Don't talk about my daddy, or I'll have your video taken down. It's like, all
Yeah.
right,
Matt, the man on the mountain. Hi, folks. What's up? How's it going?
hey man on the
Appreciate you
mountain,
being here.
how's it going?
Um,
Welcome.
Soy Cats guy. What's up? Hey, what's up? How's it going? Let me keep going
Oh,
down. I'm just
Soycast guy, what's up? What's up, Soycast? Hello, hello there.
Malara. What about 69 hours? I don't. I don't think stream. Yeah, I don't think StreamYards would even allow it unless I paid for premium, which I'm definitely not doing.
What about
So, but
69 hours, 69 minutes, and 69 seconds, and 0.69 milliseconds? Is that better?
maybe, maybe one day for
Maybe
charity.
one day. Okay.
Oh, hold on. What does this say? Triflame? I think I'm saying it right. If I'm seeing it correctly. A married lesbian has bruises on picture. Yep.
Married lesbian.
Well, yeah. Just
Well, we were talking about UFC fights, so seems like what
yeah,
lesbian marriage is like, a UFC fight.
yeah. Uh, yeah. Erica must have been in a couple of them.
I wonder what would happen if you have two beings that are more emotional biologically in a marriage where they have a disagreement. I wonder how that will end.
Mm-hmm. Money Tacoma. Hey, what's up? I love the content, but I am indeed not watching the whole thing. Hope you all are doing well. I gotta go edit my video. LOL. Well, appreciate you stopping by anyway. So, and hope editing goes
Sure.
well.
Yeah. Sure. Sure.
uh,
Yeah.
Y chromosome.
Yeah.
That video has to come back, Rev. Oh yeah. I mean, it'll be back tomorrow. Slightly altered, and you get the original on. I was legit gonna say Blue Sky. Forgive me. The
Not blue
original
sky.
video. Nah, hell no. The original video will be on Rumble. So whichever one. I mean, definitely. I would appreciate if people watch both, but whatever. Whatever's better for you.
Yeah, agreed. Whatever's
Commander
the
gonna be
whatever's
a
the
bit late.
easiest.
No problem. Tasty Z, USB man. Apollo,
USB man.
Randy is married. Is married his USB. Yeah,
There you go. That's what it was.
yeah. Oh, man, the
That's
mountain.
kind of
What
crazy. That
pissed me
whole
off
thing,
is
I
that
did some research on that, and I was reading about it. I'm like, damn, that shit is like legitimately insane. That was
what?
a dark turn. The stuff with Randy that I read about. I
Oh
was like,
yeah, yeah,
wow,
yeah.
if that's true, that's some like really like weird like stuff that's going on.
Mm-hmm. Man, the mountain. What pissed me off is that people are refunding because of the performance, not because of the awful things those devs say on a daily basis. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
weird too. Like I don't get that.
And
They say all
also,
these
look,
shit,
yeah,
and it's like, all right, well, just because it performs poorly. I mean, yeah, that's a good reason to refund it, but I mean, there's other
but
reasons on
also,
top of that are probably like just as bad or even
but
worse.
but think about it. Imagine, you know, as a dev, like it's one thing to disagree with somebody politically. I would argue if somebody said I disagree with Charlie Kirk, right? I'm talking about pre-death, right? I disagree with Charlie
Mhm.
Kirk. I don't like him or whatever, and I whatever. And someone has an opinion like, oh, and even on Twitter, like even though that's still kind of dumb because you have no reason to say that as a public person trying to sell a product. But let's say that you did. At least then you're just disagreeing with like his political beliefs. But in this particular case, you're just like mocking his death. Like there's nothing to be gained there. Like all you're doing is just showing that you're a piece of shit. Like I don't understand like the logic there. Like you can't why I don't understand why you can't just disagree with someone politically and not wish like harm upon them or not be thankful that harm befell them. And I think that's really what it is. It's like
Uh,
not so much that people lost their, that they didn't like Charlie Kirk, but it's the fact that he died and you're like kind of like condemning or almost cheering for it. That's really the part that makes
yeah.
it bad. And as a
Speaking
dev,
of,
why would you do that when it's unnecessary?
yeah. Speaking of a piece of shit, Michael Kelly, Charlie was pretty gay also. Well, fuck you. How about that? And on top of that, why are you even here? I noticed you're a public subscriber. The last time I responded to the dumb shit you were saying on one of my community posts, you can unsubscribe if you want. That goes for anyone else too. So, so you can unsubscribe and you can fuck off because I don't need people like you watching me or being subscribed to me. So,
Yeah.
anyway, back to people that actually do matter on this channel and in this community, whatever you want to call it. Y2 Retro, aka Y2 Viral. What's up, my people? What's up, man? Hopefully you can join
Y2
today.
viral.
Yep.
Y2 viral. Welcome. Welcome.
He wrote, my
Good
internet
morning.
had
Not
been
really morning.
slow, so hopefully I'll get to fix it in minutes. Yeah, that'd be great.
Oh, here's another thing. Here's another thing, by the way. Actually, I'm down that you mentioned it. If you're gonna come
Mhm.
on the podcast, please have headphones on or some means of like um some headphones on or something because that the background static is really distracting and if you're talking it's really hard to pay attention to what you're saying over the static. So
Yeah,
if you don't have
it goes
headphones
for anyone.
on, yeah, it's like for anyone. If you don't have headphones on or anything, like probably don't bother speaking on here because again, like I want to be able to actually hear your points and listen to you, and I don't want to hear I don't want to hear a bunch of radio static and like Optimus Prime stuff going on. So again, no offense, but please put on headphones. Please try to limit your background noise.
Yeah,
You
like
don't you don't have to have
be
a perfect
prepared
mic.
and yeah, be prepared and know that you're coming on.
Yeah.
Maybe test out your sound or whatever, however you're
And
gonna
just
do it before then,
and
or
just look at it as being considerate of everyone else who's watching because when that shit is in the background, like the static is repetitively like just like sparking in the background, it can make it really hard to focus on what anyone says. So just out of consideration for everyone else, please
yeah,
just do that. And you don't
yeah,
have to have a perfect mic. It doesn't have to be perfect. It could even be like a little bad. Just please wear headphones or wear something that will do something that will limit that as much as possible.
yeah. Where we at here? All right, so no one else is coming from the that I sent the links to on X. Um,
Oh, screw them. I'm
so
just playing.
you know,
Uh,
uh, I'll put the link in the chat and we'll go from there because we've been going on for a while. I was waiting for a lot of
yeah.
people for the people that I sent it to.
Well,
So
it's
they
all
had
good.
more than enough time. They know what time this starts. So I mean, you come
Yeah. All
late,
right.
it
Cool.
is what it is.
The
Well,
show the
also
show
on
goes
top of
on.
that, what I may do, I don't know how you feel about this, but if certain people come like late at a particular time, I'm just going to be like, we're close to wrapping it up because if we start switching out people,
Well, we'll do
like
this. If you come in
several
really
groups of
late,
people,
if you come in late or toward the end, then you might be limited to talking about the last subject, or like we might just end it depending on how late it is exactly. So because if
Dave
it's like if
Francisco,
if we're at the end and then you're trying to rush somebody to give like 5 different talk about 5 different things, 3 different things, it's gonna like prolong it. So depending on how much time it has left, you're gonna obviously have limited time to talk about what you want to talk about, and likely you're gonna have to stick to whatever was the last topic, if that, because then
Yeah, so people start coming in late, then sorry, it is what it is. Just try to come in earlier next time. If you really want to come on, then just try to come in at a more reason. So that's all. David Francisco, commies don't believe in free speech. Why they deserve the entitlement of something they don't believe in. Sorry, don't believe to begin with. That's true.
exactly. If you don't believe in free
Charlie's
speech, why
Barky
should you
Bark.
have it? I agree.
YouTube is even worse than before. Yeah. All right.
I think what makes us, I think what makes us better though than what makes us better than those people is that when even though like they might not believe in free speech, we do. So while even if someone doesn't believe people should have free speech, I would still give them the right to speak, because then that's based on basically on my own morality rather than on what they believe. Doesn't matter if they believe in it or not. If I believe everyone deserves free speech, then they deserve free speech, even if they're a piece of shit, or even if they themselves don't believe in free speech.
Should I do something about Michael Kelly? I don't know if you see the chat, Jim Pachi. I don't know. Maybe everyone can let me know. Should I do anything about this?
About what?
Show of hands or something? Any
Let
suggestions?
me see. In the comments?
Yeah, in the live chat.
Oh, I'm just ban him, bro. He's a piece of shit. I mean, you know what? Actually,
Yeah.
I mean, look, you have your right to free speech, but also we have the right to not keep you here. You can say whatever you want, but probably not here. Not here. So I don't know. Just ban him. He's a trolling. He's a piece of shit. Just get rid of him.
Yeah. So you had your chance.
This isn't like good faith. It's not like he's like giving an opinion out of good faith. He's just talking shit because he feels ass hurt because you basically called him, put him on blast. So when you're that pathetic, I feel like, who cares? I mean, just ban him. It's not in good faith.
Yeah, so that's what I was thinking of, or maybe timing him out, but no, after, so hold on. So you don't believe in free speech.
I mean, you have
what
your
you're
right
saying
to.
is completely different. You have your right, but if you're gonna keep like saying stuff like that, then why should I allow you to be doing anything?
So to your argument, someone's in your house talking.
Hold on.
Listen. Someone's in your house talking shit about your family and talking shit about you. You're gonna keep them in your house, you fucking moron? Of course, you have your right to free speech. No one is saying you can't say those things, but again, you're not gonna say them here. You're not going to be allowed to troll here. You can go on your own channel. You can go on whatever comment section. You can make a community post. You can go on X. You can run your mouth wherever you want. But no one here is obligated to keep you here. Just like you're not obligated to keep dickheads in your house that are fucking talking about your family in hypothetically or whatever. So again, we believe in free speech, but you're not going to fucking sit here and talk shit in our fucking environment and think it's okay. Like, that's common sense, bro. That's common sense.
Yeah, well, we're trying to actually have a discussion about things, not have to deal with people trolling and looking for attention.
Fuck you.
And on top
bro.
of that, so would you be all right if me or anyone was saying the exact same shit that you're saying now about if something happened to any of your family members? Or what if it was you?
No, because according to him,
you're not able to even defend yourself.
According to him, if you go to his house, you can disparage his name. You can spit on his floors. You can take a shit on his couch. You can say whatever you want, and because of free speech, you're allowed to stay there. So let's use his logic. We already know what he thinks. Unless he doesn't, he's a hypocrite.
Yep.
So I don't give a fuck. Get rid of him.
Yeah,
he could talk shit. He could talk shit on his own platform, in his own space. And if he has a productive thing to say about why you don't like Charlie Kirk or why you think his death was justified, even though that's heinous as shit, then at least give a reason instead of talking shit in the chat like a child.
Wait a second. He said he doesn't care because he's rich. Well, You can spend time on your yacht, sipping on some bubbly if you want,
Maybe he means
and
because
not have
Charlie
and not
Kirk
have
is
to be
rich.
here. Yeah, right. Oh,
If it's
Charlie
because
Kirk said he's rich.
if it's because Charlie Kirk is rich, that's a terrible fucking stance to have, and that's completely inhuman to think you don't care because somebody had a bunch of money. Not only does that show that you're fucking salty because you don't have that money, but it also shows that your value of human life is nothing. And secondly, when it comes to like him talking about like himself being rich, if you mean yourself being rich, imagine being rich and then you're coming to a comment section to troll. So that's not exactly rich guy behavior, bro. But anyway, regardless of which it is, whether it's you rich or Charlie Kirk being rich is why you don't care, either one makes you a piece of shit, bro. So there you go. And
Yeah.
that's my free
So
speech. You're a piece of shit.
yeah, and as lines you don't cross. So I don't really care if you like my videos or not. But yeah.
I don't like leftists. I don't like leftists, but I don't want them to fucking die because of their opinions. I don't like Destiny. It doesn't mean something bad should happen to Destiny because of his opinion. He shouldn't be like physically like killed or harmed because of his opinion, even though he's a piece of shit. So why do you think it's okay for Charlie Kirk to die just because of his opinions? Why should anyone else be killed because of their opinions, right? Like you fight ideas with ideas, not with violence. So the fact that you're condoning him dying because he was rich, I didn't like his opinion. Okay, cool. Way to tell me your opinion means nothing at all.
So yeah, well, any last words, Michael? Where we go. Charlie was promoting hate, and he got hate back.
Okay, yeah. So this guy is definitely a leftist. He's a leftist, bro. Promoting hate, saying that people should be treated equally, and that blacks, whites, and Hispanics are all fucking equal, and it should be about merit. Is promoting hate. Okay, bro. All right, sure. That's hatred. That's definitely hate. That's hate. That's hate, giving people a chance to debunk your opinions live. Basically, a person who is hateful wouldn't even give those people a platform to speak. The fact that he gives you the ability in his fucking format to repel his ideas and actually debate him shows you that he was inclusive toward everyone and welcoming of their opinions and whether he agreed with them or not. Come on, bro. This is common sense. So either you're a leftist troll or you're fucking stupid. Whichever one it is, bro, it's pathetic.
It is. No, it really is. So, he could be pathetic somewhere else because he's been banned because he wants to be a fucking idiot. And honestly, he's not worth the time to, going back and forth with.
Yeah, exactly. Let's move on. Let's move on.
So,
and for the record, anybody can disagree with. If you came on here and said why you disagreed with Charlie's beliefs, that's perfectly fine. But when you're mocking the guy's death and saying that it was justified and okay, that's where the line is drawn. If you came on here and wanted to say, well, I disagree because of this, I think he's hateful because of this, fine. But if you're gonna say, oh, this guy deserved to die, you don't give a fuck, whatever, then that's where like that line is crossed. You can disagree with somebody and not wish harm upon them. It's a simple thing to do. Funny how Republicans didn't go burning down the city over Charlie Kirk's death, but another group of people did, right? Weird how that works, right? Anyway, moving on.
Anyway, so yeah, we'll bring on the people that are in the backstage. So sorry for keeping you guys waiting for a little bit, but.
Hi.
What's up, Tasty Z and Apollo Patriot? What's up?
What's up?
Hello, fellas.
How's it going?
Hold on. I'm the Don. I need my due gratitude. Kiss the ring. Kiss the ring. All right. Anyway, I'm kidding. Don't actually do that. I would feel bad if he did it. Don't do it. Anyway, so what's up, guys?
I mean, I'm doing okay. Shame about that guy. He seemed like complete total retard, but he's gone.
Yeah, yeah. I don't want people like that. Subscribing to my channel.
Same.
Just to be clear, if you're a weirdo, if you're a maniac, if you're like some heartless piece of shit, saying crazy shit, just really acting like you have no brains. Yeah, I don't want you as a viewer, a fan, whatever you want to call it. No, thank you.
Same like on my channel. I do the same thing.
You know what's funny too? I didn't even watch Charlie Kirk like that. I wasn't like a super. I've seen a couple of his videos and I agreed with him on a lot. but I also disagreed with him on some minor things here and there. But I didn't watch him all the time. But even me not being a hardcore fan, it's like I know, like, hey, you shouldn't. It's not the behavior of how people are acting toward his death is unacceptable. You know, I agreed with him a lot. Like when I say I wasn't a hardcore fan, I just didn't watch him all the time. But the clips that I would see, I'm like, yeah, he has a point. You know what I mean?
Me personally, yeah.
So
I like watching.
yeah, he was good. From what I've seen, he was good. I just didn't watch him all the time. But from what I've seen, it was good. I've been watching more of him lately, and I feel actually kind of like bad because I kind of feel like he's on the money with so many things. I kind of wish I watched him more when he was alive instead of just watching the off clip. I kind of was like, well, if I was subscribed to Turning Point, I probably would have saw all this stuff like a while ago. So, you know,
I was watching him since like around 2018, 2019, around
there. Like I would see him, like I would see clips of him, but I didn't like actually watch his channel. And now, like I've been watching him more. I'm like, damn, like, you know, it really was a loss because I find that he does the whole like change my mind or like debate me thing better than Steven Crowder, honestly.
I don't like Steven Crowder.
Yeah, he was. Well, I'm not a big. Well, Revenant knows I was never a big fan of him either. But
two words: Biden farts.
Yeah, like I was never a big fan of Steven Crowder. But my point is that Charlie Kirk does what he does. He does what he does, but better. You know, he does it like he does it correctly. So like, you know, whatever. But like I said, man, you don't have to agree with somebody. I don't agree with leftists, but like the moment that you start saying that they deserve violence on them, and it's not like, again, we have to talk about what an actual response to a threat is. If somebody is like, if there's let's say there was a far right wing person physically like beating and harming people and killing them, and then he got killed, I would be like, all right, that's kind of like karmatic in that he was doing that to others. But a guy talking in debate that you don't agree with does not deserve to fucking die, bro. That's just reality.
Exactly, yeah. Regardless, like we said last week, like if something happened like that to say like Joe Biden, like I'll be like, oh, that's fucked up. That shouldn't even happen.
Right.
And ultimately, that hurts your cause.
Let him. Exactly, yeah. Like considering his age, like Joe Biden, for example, like let him. You know, if he does go, let it be due to like old age or whatever. But you know, you don't want to be going around like fucking like taking people out like that. Or even if it was like to a different extent, like say like you ran him over with a car, like you wouldn't want to hear news like that. Like, yeah, he's an asshole. I don't like him, but I'm not going to be, wishing for him to get hit by a car or a mob to like attack him or someone to like snipe him like that. It's like
and when it comes to debating ideas, if your idea is based on truth, then you don't have to resort to those tactics. Again, you're not dealing with like a situation where your autonomy is actually under threat, right? It's not like a dictator is like rounding people up or whatever. You're just dealing with someone whose opinion you don't like. So if your ideas are strong enough, you can sway people without having to resort to any type of violence.
Yeah.
And I think that when you resort to violence to kill your political or ideological enemy, it kind of shows that your point is not strong enough to defend on the merits of their value, of what they stand for, what the truth actually is.
Oh yeah.
So that's kind of like why I feel like it's like, again, because in the end of the day, I don't want to say violence is always unjustified, because again, if someone's like a dictator killing people, you might have to physically get them out of government if they're actually doing bad, horrific things, right? Like you might need to do that. But like when it comes to like people now in 2025 just giving opinions, that's a different situation. I hope you guys understand the distinction that I'm making here. Like, so again, like you're rounding people up, putting them in encampments and like, doing whatever heinous shit. That's completely different than like, oh, I don't like Trump because he's not for trans or whatever. That's like not the same thing, bro. And the fact that leftists pretend it is really like scary, actually. Because by dehumanizing, they basically create the cause for violence, right? By saying like, oh, these people are subhuman, they're full of hate or whatever. You're basically dehumanizing your enemies and creating a situation where some crazed person with a sniper will say, oh yeah, they're right, he's evil, he's doing this, we have to take him out. They've been radicalized.
I mean, they spent like 10 years or so, maybe less, maybe more. Well, I'm sure more. Fucking painting Republicans as evil, terrible people. They're conditioning people to think and act a certain way. I mean, contrary to what YouTube doesn't want to show, But yeah, you do have people high positions of power, like politicians or celebrities at award shows, or whoever else it may be, telling you to go commit
Yeah.
crimes and
Oh
to
yeah.
basically make these people's lives a living hell just because they have different political views than you, and
Well,
they'll
my favorite,
justify it as if you're doing the right thing when you're being a piece of shit and you're being the exact thing that you claim to hate.
it kind of reminds me of like with the Trump thing, right? Like I've gotten so many people with this. It's amazing. They say, "Oh, Trump is." I remember I had a friend. She told me, "Oh, Trump's racist. I don't like him." She's a nice person, like not a far lefty or whatever. She's just kind of like more like liberal leaning, right? I said, "Well, how? What did he say that was racist?" And she couldn't. And she couldn't like. She just couldn't tell me. She just couldn't tell me. And I said, "But you said he's racist, and you don't like him because he's racist. So tell me what he said and did that was racist." Then after a while, she couldn't tell me, and then she's like, "Oh well, with the Puerto Rico when he was throwing the the paper towels or whatever to like other people." I'm like, first off, how is that racist? And because he's helping them actually like do whatever there, like obviously he's gonna toss them the shit that they need to help the cleanup effort. I don't understand. So is he supposed to like go to every single person and hand the shit to them? Like even I wouldn't do that if I'm doing a job with like my family, like my father or something, or like painting or doing whatever. It's like, yeah, we're gonna toss each other shit. I'm not gonna like fucking walk up to him and give him like every piece of equipment in his hand like that. Like, sometimes you just I'm going on and on, but I think you guys know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
It's like it's such a stretch. And then she kind of like I'm glad that she was smart enough to concede, and I was like I was proud of her because I'm like, damn, you actually accepted common sense. I was like, Jesus. It's like thank the Lord,
Yeah, right.
you have some common sense. But yeah. So it's
Well,
just
that's
an
the thing.
example.
They conflate racism with insensitivity. So it's like he said something racist. No, he said something insensitive. There's a big fucking difference.
Yeah, exactly. And also, like, Trump has a bunch of people in his employ of all races forever, bro. Like, since his businesses dawned, he's always hired people that were black, Hispanic,
Okay.
Asian, whatever. So I just don't buy it. And like, also remember that if when you ever listen to Trump, whenever we listen to Trump speak, they always negate certain language. They never talk about how he says he always specifies illegal immigrants. He never says like, "Oh, immigration as a whole is bad." He never says we want to get rid of it. He's even actually openly said that immigration's okay as long as it's done legally. And I don't understand how people are so clouded in their judgment that they think saying that you want immigrants here legally means that you don't like immigrants, right? Like, it's just weird. It's really weird, and it's also like I feel like the correct term to describe it is cognitively dissonant, because you're just purposely and choosing to selectively focus on aspects of what he's saying while completely negating the rest of it. So,
And then on top of that, they associate immigrants. It's always Mexican, right?
that's the
When it's
funny part.
immigrants from different countries. It's
There's
not
immigrants from
exclusive.
Russia. One of my best friends is an immigrant from Russia. One of my closest
Immigrants
friends.
is not exclusive to Mexico or Mexicans.
Middle
Yeah,
East,
So
I
unless
think.
you they are.
yeah. Remember, no one's more racist than Democrats, bro. That's how I look at it. Well, let me say the far left. Let me be fair and say the far left. The
Oh
far
yeah.
left, no one's more racist than the far left. It's like they always. What was the saying? I heard it recently. I think I heard it somewhere else before. They say hate speech. They don't. They don't. They don't kill you because you're hateful. They call you hateful so that they can kill you.
Yes.
Yep. And
And I feel like that's
keep
where
in
we're at,
mind,
sadly.
Democrats were the one trying to keep slavery.
Yep.
Yeah.
So anyway, I talked a lot, so you guys go ahead and
Oh yeah.
do
So
your thing.
about Ghost of Yotei, the boycott that's been going on, uh, and people on both sides, because people on the right obviously didn't like what the former developer Drew Harrison had said about Charlie Kirk's death. Mind you, there was people from Sucker Punch, fellow developers there, that liked the post, but no repercussions for them, of course. And that also lets you know that there's plenty of other developers there that feel the exact same way, course, they probably said things in private, probably exchanged a couple messages here and there. But you also now have people on Blue Sky, the leftists, who are mad at Sucker Punch that they fired Drew Harrison for what he or she, I'm not really sure, had said about Charlie Kirk. So now they got people from both sides annoyed with them. You had recently, I don't remember the exact name of his position in the company. He's probably a CEO or some shit, or the producer or some shit. But he had basically made some fake half-assed apology, and I don't have the exact quote in front of me. If anyone does, you can let me know. But what he was saying was that, yeah, we don't agree with it and all that. And on top of that, when he was like saying a statement, he sounded like he didn't believe what he was saying. He was saying a bunch of sort ofs and maybes uh, in his statement. So it sounds like he doesn't believe what he's saying. And he was asked about it. Like, he didn't just like, I before you start the interview, I just want to say this. Like, no. And then he does it on this regular website. I don't know how popular it is, because apparently from the video I saw from Heel versus Babyface, the post on X had like less than 20 likes, less than 10 comments. And the only reason why it even got any traction was because someone had reposted it and shared it and brought awareness that he even did the interview, where he even had addressed what happened with Drew Harrison. They themselves Sucker Punch did not make a statement on nowhere on social media. And mind you, this interview that was done happened a week, like 10 days after what happened with Charlie Kirk. So
And
they can't even be bothered to make an actual statement about what happened, what was said. Some companies did, but
and isn't Drew a trans? Drew is not trans, is it? Because
I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know.
Because I
hear
saw
the
a
name
picture,
Drew,
and then I saw a picture. I saw a picture. I'm like, that is like no, I don't want to like attack the person's appearance too much, but it just seemed like not something. Just seemed weird. I don't know. So sometimes there are girls that look a little manly. No offense to him or her, but like I get the vibe that that's a trans person.
I mean, that's what I was thinking too. I'm like looking at. I was seeing other pictures. I'm like, yeah, I'm not sure. It looks kind of suspicious to me, but
yeah, it's like really weird.
I
Again,
don't know.
like
Maybe
because I don't want to go too crazy, because it could just be like a weird looking woman, and I'm like, which is unfortunate, like it's whatever. But I just got the vibe that that's
it's a liberal, so you know how a lot of them turn out. So.
Yeah, it's like exactly that's the thing. It's like also it's a liberal, so I'm like, it's like a high likelihood, and it's a game developer. How many game developers like? I don't know what's with the game developers being like trans and shit like that, but it's really kind of like crazy.
Diverse hire.
Diversity hire, like not even just a diversity hire. I think there's also like these people just lose their shit. Like creative type. I'm a creative type, but like I feel like a lot of creatives, again, like are just like really into like the liberal shit, and like I've seen a lot of them just turn out to be fucking trans. Like sometimes it is diversity hires, but also I'm just saying in general, I think that a lot of them just genuinely believe the bullshit. Like look at the Wachowski brothers.
Yeah.
Like what the like I just don't understand the correlation. I'm an artist. I'm a creative person, but I'm not like I don't know. It's just weird. It's just really weird.
They have mental issues. That's the point.
Yeah. I think there's something to the idea that like when you're really into creative aspects of creative things, there's a degree of trying to escape reality. And I think that we all do that to a certain degree. Like for example, me and you, we like video games, we like doing whatever, right? And we're doing that to like, have a break from reality, have fun. And I think that that's just the extreme of it, where these people are trying to escape reality. And that kind of ties to like the creativeness of those people. Like I feel like that's kind of like where creatives like want to escape reality, and I think that's like kind of like the ultimate form of escaping reality in a weird way.
Yeah.
So it's just interesting food for thought, because I was thinking about that.
So so I don't know where anyone stands on the boycott of the game. If anyone agrees with it, think it's a good idea. I think it's going to work. The way I look at it is, it deserves to be boycotted, because
I think it's funny
what these developers are saying and doing is fucked up.
I think it's funny, bro.
And these games are made by activists. Do you really want to support a game made by activists? And then on top of that, I almost forgot. Erica Ishii in 2020 had even said, "I'm Antifa and so is my wife." I mean, what she should have wrote is, "I'm Antifa and so is my wife."
I'm Antifa and so
That
is the
beats me.
woman. Yeah, I was gonna say that. I'm Antifa and so is the woman that beats me religiously. Like, oh man, and her wife must be big because Erica Ishii's kind of beefy. So her wife got to be like some like chungus herself. But I do find it kind of funny. And what I mean by funny is I find it funny that these women or like these activists, they're doing all this shit and now they're getting flack from both sides. They're getting boycotted by people that didn't like the firing, and they're getting boycotted by the people that didn't like the stance they took, right? Like where like he said, said what he said about Charlie Kirk's death. So or she or whatever. The two things combined is hilarious because I feel like you tried to play this game and now both sides are against you. It's kind of like J.K. Rowling with the I'm all leftist and all this shit, but I don't agree with trans. Well, now you're losing that fan base as well. Now you're losing your leftist fan base after you betrayed your right wing fan base. I find the cannibalism of it funny. It's like deserved. It's like just deserves.
Yeah.
It's like a game. When a game company try to like appeal to like a mass audience, so they'll do like some weird censorship or like something like whatever bullshit, act like it doesn't matter, and then they lose their main fan base. But because the new fan base doesn't really care about the series, they also don't get money from them either. So they just end up failing and flopping. I kind of like that aspect of it because it's just I feel like that's like a lesson of why you shouldn't do that shit.
I mean, it's when people use their their place of business, their place of employment to espouse their their charged political beliefs. I feel like it just it's done for attention. It's done to it's done to provoke. Like there's no like, oh, I didn't know people were going to react like this. Oh, whoops a days. No, you did it because you wanted people to come at you, because you're, I don't know. I just want
Narcissistic.
that engagement. Narcissistic. You want that engagement. You want to. You need a dragon to slay.
Exactly. Need a dragon to slay. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, but that's just kind of how I feel about activists in general, especially slacktivists. Is that their whole lives they've been told that the sun shines out of their ass, and that everything was right about them. Everything they said was right, correct, and that kind of sort of I don't know what you would call it, delusion.
Yes.
Usually leads to thinking that you are important, that you are special, and that when the world is, the world is calling to you to help slay the dragon, to help stop the fascists, and you think in your delusional little world that it's true.
Yes. Yeah, because they believe it. That the crazy thing is they believe it's true. But again, these again, you're making a product for people to enjoy.
Yeah.
Like in the end of the day, that's what you're doing. That's all your people. I hate to say it, but I have this philosophical belief, and it's a double-edged sword that nobody cares, but nobody all right. It's like a double-edged sword. People only care about these developers because they make the games that they like. That's it. They don't really care. If they're just there's a reason why every person on Twitter or every person on YouTube doesn't have 1 million subscribers. People care about the value you give them, whether that be entertainment or whatever else the case may be. So when you're a dev and you're making games, your value to the consumer, and it's not a personal thing, is just of how quality the games you make are. That's or whatever you're creating. So that's why even people that agree with all this leftist shit, if your game is broken and bad, there's no mercy from the fans, from the people that are buying the game, even people that agree with you politically. So the idea that you're going to say these political beliefs and try to act like a martyr or like a political like freedom fighter or whatever is ridiculous, because the value of your opinion to a consumer is solely dependent on the products that you make. That's it.
Yeah, and even when they do this, and even when the company
Well,
backs them up,
you're
even
partially
when
right,
they
because there were people defending Cyberpunk 2077 despite being broken.
But
yeah,
They were telling
most of the
people that
people,
they shouldn't have been playing it on the console that it was actually put on,
yeah.
PS4 or Xbox One. They should have been playing it on a PS5 or an Xbox Series X to avoid the problems.
But
Despite
we're
there was no
thinking,
version of
yeah.
of a PS5 version or Series X version.
Well, I'll prove my point further with Cyberpunk. They said that, and the game was doing really badly up until they released that anime, which saved them. So they weren't saved by the people defending them, because most people weren't. Even your average like leftist person doesn't want to play a broken game. So in the end of the day,
No, that's true.
the non vocal liberals who bought that game, a lot of them abandoned it. You got to remember, people some people don't even understand why something is even considered woke, but they can feel it. Like, for example, Suicide Squad killed the Justice League. I hate what they did to Batman. I hate the game. It's just this and that. It's corporate slop. It is corporate slop. But the point is that they don't realize the reason that the game's badly written is because the people writing it were vapid leftists, and it shows in the story. But someone who wants to play neutral or is delusional or oblivious to what's going on, they'll say, well, the script was just bad, right? So with Cyberpunk, for every person saying, oh, this game is you shouldn't be playing it on this console, whatever. Most of the reason why the game didn't do well initially is because even leftists, even liberals, even people that were not buying it, and the anime is what really saved it. So, I stand by my belief that like your quality. Remember, why do people blindly defend Resident Evil when they do woke shit? When they do woke shit, the reason why is because they're addicted to the Resident Evil brand, right? But if the game is terrible, those same people will do mental gymnastics to turn their back on it, right? Resident Evil 6, even though I like that game, Resident Evil 6 got all that bad publicity, so all the hardcore fans they kind of generally like ganged up on it, and the game didn't do well, right? But the games now, Resident Evil 4, 2 remake, 3 remake, they're pretty. I mean, I would say gameplay wise, they're solid enough where somebody will say, well, I don't care if they made Claire look like a guppy. I don't care if Jill acts like a feminist. I don't care if because the quality of gameplay is good overall to them. If the quality of gameplay was bad, then it'll be easier to say, no, I didn't like how Jill was portrayed, right? Because look, Resident Evil 3 is a great example. That game cut a lot of content, and fans were upset that the content got cut from it, right? So you saw backlash from that. You saw backlash from it because of the technical reason that they cut content. So I guess what I'm trying to tell you guys is that the actual politics behind it to a normie, like casual corporate slave, is only like, what have you done for me lately, kind of like town mentality. And that's just what it is. It's like, what have you done for me lately? Is the new Resident Evil slop fun gameplay? Yeah. So all right, make Leon say, take away his lines. Let's censor Ashley's outfit. Who cares? The gameplay is fun. The gameplay is good, right? So that's just what it comes down to me.
Mm-hmm.
It's polished.
Yeah, it's good enough. It's good enough to satisfy corporate slaves. So a lot of the people that even like scream out against these games and say, "Oh, I don't like woke games," they'll defend Resident Evil 4. They'll defend The Last of Us because of the quality of gameplay. Which again, quality of gameplay matters, but it shows you why. Like the whole idea that leftists will support it anyway is not even like fully true, because these games fail. They're broken, and it being broken and failing isn't like, for example, what was that game, Saints Row? Saints Row did all that liberal shit. People were defending the liberal shit online. But guess what? The liberals in real life, the leftists in real life, obviously weren't buying it because it didn't do well. So.
I feel that game wasn't. I feel like that wasn't liberal. I feel like that was like boardroom cornball shit.
It was. I agree with you. It was far left boardroom cornball shit. But my point is that even far leftists didn't buy the game, because if it did, that probably would have saved it. From failing.
Yeah, the gameplay wasn't spectacular, was it? So they didn't have their little things to. Nobody on either side had any kind of rebuttal to it. They were just like, "Yeah,
Exactly.
this game fucking hates me."
Exactly, and that's why liberals. That's why. Well, I'm gonna say leftists. That's why far leftists always try to hijack game series, because in the end of the day, they know if they make Arkham woke, then people will still buy Arkham because it's Arkham, right? The
Yeah.
politics don't matter. That's the vehicle of it. So I guess my whole point is, it's like, if you're gonna, when we talk about like the liberals and these games failing, you have to understand that all your average like bruh is mad commenter or whatever, that's just a dickhead that wants to play the new thing and they like the gameplay. They have no political morality. They have no sensibilities outside of corporate slavery, which is why you can't take them seriously, and also why, you know, a game like Ghost of Yotei, even though it's being boycotted, it could end up doing well just as long as it plays similarly to the first game, which is unfortunate. But yeah, it's like a whole fucking thing, and I'll leave it at that because it's just crazy.
Well, quickly to your point, Jinpachi, it is true because they latch on to these established IPs, and they manage to do well. But if they make their own game, like a Dustborn or a Concord, then it fails.
Yes, because again, like I said, your average.
It doesn't have the brand recognition,
Yes.
and it sure as hell doesn't have the budget behind it, or really any other redeeming qualities. Like the game's pretty good. That's pretty good because everything about it is mediocre and filled with propaganda that people cannot deny. So they either ignore it because they don't want to address it because they know it does relate to other games that they defend, or they just can't say anything nice about it. They're just like, yeah, it's not a good game. Not from. Or they use the bullshit what way of getting around it. Well, it wasn't made for me. When it's like, what we know why it wasn't made for you. But you just want to say what it is.
And that's the fake centrist leftist take, right? Like, I'm pretending to be in the middle and being balanced. It just wasn't made for me, when really they're just trying to avoid the fact that it's bad gameplay combined with leftist bullshit.
Yeah.
And like, that's what I'm saying. Like, Last of Us is the perfect example. It kind of like really shows all of that together. You kill Joel, you make a nonsensical story that's completely illogical and contradicts itself at the end of the game. But the graphics are good and the violence is nice. So even people that are against woke shit were defending it because they needed to play the new fucking violent high graphical fidelity game. It's just how it is, man. People don't like to accept that fact, but that's all it comes down to, really. Like, and like these for example, if you're gonna make a game, right? If you make a game, like how many, like even look at products that are made that are meant to be like non-woke. If the gameplay is not good, they generally fail too, even from being like non-woke, right? Like they just don't do well. So sometimes, so it's just the reality of it. And I think that's why, like, if you're gonna actually fight back against the bullshit propaganda, we need to actually make good products and good things that are gonna capture the imagination and bring like excitement and fun to the consumer, right?
Yeah.
Like, because if not, then it doesn't matter. Like, if you're more morally right or what you're saying is true, it's like the average dickhead needs to buy your game in order for it to do well, and that requires the gameplay to be good or for it to have some other merits.
Yeah. I mean, I say I've not been following this too much because every time I see the game get mentioned, I always see that ghoul. I don't know what her name is, but that fucking just her stupid fucking face. I can't stand it. It puts me right off my dinner. Like every time I see it, I'm just like, no,
boy.
I don't want to watch this video because I know that thumbnail is going to be staring me in the face.
Oh, you're talking about Alyssa McCunter.
No. They said her name before. It was
Erica
Erica.
Ishii.
Yeah, I can't.
Erica
I just
Ishii?
can't. Yeah, I see her face in the thumbnail, and I'm just like, no, I don't want to stare at it.
Only a face the lesbian lover can love.
Out of all the Japanese waifu women they could have got to sell that game, they're like, we're gonna get the most bloated, ridiculous feminist we can find.
Fried looking head ass.
Emaciated Nosferatu looking ghoul. Like, I just, no, please, I don't want to see it.
I mean, she definitely ain't emaciated. She's definitely not emaciated.
Absolutely not.
Her face looks it.
She is bloated. She has like
She
the I
is.
ne- she
For
looks
real.
like you know, a person who's not fat but they never missed a sandwich in their life. That's Erica Ishii. Erica Ishii is the woman who's never said no to a beer. You know, like
Jeez.
Yeah, right.
Ugh,
if water retention was a human being, it would be Erica Ishii. But you know what? Actually, I don't really even want to criticize her just for her looks. But what I'm saying is, if I had to look at you in a game for like 40 hours, I kind of want to look at something pleasant. You know, call me crazy, but no offense to because some people just don't. Not everyone's gonna look good, right? That's reality. But this is a video game. It's entertainment. It's fictional. You should be getting the best possible entertainment value from it, and having like some like bloated ass looking woman in the game is not exactly something I want to look at for 40 hours. Same thing with that game that's coming out. What's it called?
Her face looks swollen, like
what's that game called? Intergalactic. Like Intergalactic. Like, yeah, the gameplay could be fun if it does turn out to be fun, but I don't want to look at this fucking bean-headed bald woman for 40 hours.
I thought it was the same person. That's just how much I don't. They're starting to bleed into each other. That's how much I don't care about
They're
them.
interchangeable.
They're interchangeable.
Yeah.
Like, all right. Look, if I'm playing, look, let's say I'm playing God of War. I don't want to play as someone's fat, middle-aged, balding dad. The same way that if I play like a game with like, some actiony female, it's like I don't really want to play with some like feminist Antifa-looking bald bitch. Like, I just don't want to do it. Not for 40 hours. Even if she was like a far right wing, if let's say she was a Republican and she just looked that way, I still would not want her to be the main character of the game. Because again, obviously they wouldn't do that if it was like a right wing game anyway. But let's say hypothetically they got her, I still wouldn't want to play as her. It doesn't make it any different. So, that's kind of where I'm at. It's like you're making a game. You want to play that game. You have to spend 40 hours with it to get to the end of the game. Why do I want to look at something that's going to be offensive to my eyes for 40 hours? Like, what kind of like masochistic shit is that?
It's just not cool. That's the thing. It's just not cool. Like, I've been playing Legacy Kane,
Beautiful
Soul Reaver, and Raziel is the coolest looking motherfucker that design I've ever seen. Like,
he's badass. I love those games. And Kane's a beast. Kane's design is also really cool. But anyway, yeah.
It's just not cool. It's like this. Oh, look! It's we've put this, like you said, this. I don't know. This snaggletooth bitch into like a bunch of
coffee bean headed woman.
Yeah, coffee bean fucking slaphead into a
female wings, bro.
Into the fucking into the was it the Edo period? Is that what we're looking at?
Yeah, I believe so.
And it's like, look, she's got all the gear on and everything like that. She's got like, isn't it amazing? And I just look and just go,
like,
no, it's not.
Why does the character I have to play as is supposed to be cool look like a random person I'll see on the subway in New York? That's horrible.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah. Like, why does it have to like? These are people that I don't like and wouldn't like in general, and you're sticking them in the video games, and it's just like, stop it. Can we go back to designing our characters? Can we go back to can we kill mocap the people that did the mocap people? Just design them again. I don't even care if they awkwardly
these people, because it's not working out.
I don't care if they awkwardly T-pose. I don't care if it's a poor sod in a huge mascot costume. I'm sick of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because honestly, bro, like, think about it. Like, again, let's be real. I don't like the liberals or lefties, but it's not like every lefty is ugly. There are attractive lefties. They just, unfortunately, are far lefties, right? That does exist. I mean, look at Hollywood.
Use them?
Yeah, that's my point. That's my point. If you're gonna put a lefty and you're gonna do this, at least get an attractive. It's like even with the males, right? Like the males, like I said, like I kind of don't want to play with someone's fat middle-aged dad, bro. Like I would rather play as a badass character, like regardless of what their politics are. Like it honestly doesn't really matter. Just make something that looks good. And honestly, I would argue that if leftists would just make good games and happen to have like those beliefs, but the games are not focused on them, they would actually bring more money to their cause. That would actually help their psyop because they would be having people funding their bullshit, you know? So even if they were like to put like more attractive women or whatever in the games, or more like just make the games better, the games would sell more and all that money would funnel back into like making leftists rich. So if I was on the side of leftists, which I'm obviously not, I would say you should probably just make good games so that you can spitefully milk, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm thinking like chess, right? Like that's what I would do. But again, they don't have the tax for that. You know, they just don't.
Sometimes with these the character designs, I feel like if it is chess, it's more the equivalent to I'm about to checkmate you, and you just jump on the board and piss everywhere, right?
Pretty
Like,
much.
and then flip the table. Like, that's fucking what it is.
It's like, yeah, like I didn't win, but you didn't either. You know, like
Yeah,
you didn't win
you're
either.
covered in piss. You're covered in my cabbage smelly piss.
Yeah, like we both lost. Like we both gained nothing from this. So congratulations. So yeah, it's interesting. Sorry, we went on for a while, but like Apollo, what are your thoughts on things?
I've been looking at this stuff very closely, the Ghosts of Yotei stuff. It's pretty crazy. Seeing people, they're eating each other alive. It's like Joker said on Batman Dark Knight, they eat each other, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's pretty hilarious to sit back and eat some popcorn and seeing, like, even with that, been seeing like these big name YouTubers. They're like, okay, I'm not pre-ordering this Ghost of whatever, Ghost of Yotei, whatever. It's hilarious, and seeing all those, like I was saying, the big YouTubers saying, yeah, I'm not. And then some other YouTubers would just get paid off under the table by the company. Like, yeah,
That happens a lot, yeah.
Yeah, big time. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like with these companies like Ghost of Yotei, it's like the same thing with the deep state run media. That's how it is. It's very deep stuff. And it's they're exposing themselves to a lot of crap, and I don't know, it's like, well, FAFO, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
on the other hand, like, they should have got a Japanese supermodel woman.
Not hard to find because it's really popular in Japan as well.
Yeah, for the character in Ghost of Yotei. Hell yeah, a hot-looking Japanese samurai woman.
But I would argue she shouldn't have even been a female because the games are somewhat rooted in realism.
Right.
Because of that, she shouldn't have even been a female to begin with. I love beautiful women in games. Don't get me wrong, but if you're making it should have been like either Jin Sakai again, or you play as a new character who's male.
I would love to see a iconic Japanese samurai martial artist. There's so many iconic Japanese dudes that do the samurai thing, the samurai shows in Japan. Very good. It'd be cool to have those guys on the game, but no, they want to get some Antifa woke activist bull crap into the game, and I'm like, it's hilarious.
And let me just say one thing about White Chromosome's comment. He said that all the conservative women that I've seen were gorgeous, and yeah, you know what the reason why is? Because they know what a woman is. Yeah. They don't hate their own beauty. You know, when you have a beautiful woman, let's say she is a leftist, and she puts the bullnose in her ring, the bullnose ring on her nose. I mean, when she shaves the side of her head, what she does is she's intentionally making herself uglified to avert your gaze as a man who wants to see an attractive woman. The difference between conservative women is that conservative women understand that women are beautiful and that that's a strength. It's not a weakness. It's a strength to be beautiful. Right? So because of that, conservative women know what women are. They don't hate themselves as much, generally. Yeah. And that's why they generally look better, right? And that applies to any race, whether it's black, Asian, because it's the thing is, people, when you say conservative, they automatically assume white. But I've seen like black conservative women that are absolutely beautiful. I've seen beautiful black conservative women, beautiful Asian conservative women.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really matter where you come from, right? There's beautiful. First off, there's beautiful and ugly people of all race. Let's just keep it real. When we're talking about physical attractiveness, there's beauty and ugly in any race. But when you're actively making yourself uglier just because you hate men, because you hate the fact that men find, because imagine how insane it must be to purposely uglify yourself because you hate that men find women attractive. That's completely insane.
Yeah.
So
And at the end of the day, I feel like the boycott might work out very well. And then at the end of the day, the company is going to start playing victim card and going to start crying wolf every time. It happens with all these games, Saints Row Reboot, with other games, you know what I mean? And the company might shut down. Mark by my words, it's going to shut down, you know what I mean? They're getting the Trump treatment. It's like FAFO, you know what I mean? Like
can we just hate? Can't we just hate you in peace? Can't you just buy our products while we hate you in peace?
yeah,
Come on.
you don't. It's good. You don't buy a product because you don't. I mean, let me rethink this. You don't buy something that a company that I can't even say it. Okay, so don't buy things that a company made and they hate everybody else.
Don't buy things from people that hate you.
Correct. Yes, there we go. Look at the food places. Say that food place situation. It's like, yeah, they scared the customers off. A food place. I forgot the name. What it was. It's iconic Southern food place.
I don't know. I can't say. I'm not sure.
Cracker Barrel.
Cracker Barrel.
Cracker Barrel.
Okay, so yeah, that's the same thing. So
Stone Cold
from the UK.
Stone Cold went down to the Cracker Barrel.
Yeah,
got himself Waffle House. Got himself some waffles at the Waffle House.
That's
what?
What? I can say.
What? What? Stone Cold went down to Cracker Barrel. What?
That's what situation. Don't support a company who hates you. There you go. That's my ending of the story.
To quote Stone Cold, don't support candy asses.
Yeah, correct.
With a rock.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, don't support them. They're not worth it. Spend your money and your time on products made by people that respect you, that aren't trying to alienate their audience, that don't openly hate you for having a different opinion, even if it's from people. Even if, say, in this instance, the game where the voice actress, she's not there developing the game with them. I'm sure she has some input on it. They usually do that. You usually do that, especially nowadays. You still shouldn't support them even with that, because people will say, "Oh, separate the art from the artist." They can't do that themselves. So why are you giving them the courtesy of that when they're not even? Then they can't even do that because the product will be affected by it. They brought her on there for a reason. They brought on these developers, these activist developers, for a reason.
And also, when you see
they, them, rainbows and shit, you don't even know if it's a man or a woman when they have a male's name or a female's name. When you got the pronouns, when you got all these several flags and shit all over the place, that lets you know that, you know what, this game is more than likely 9 times out of 10 gonna have some propaganda in the game, one way or another. It may not be on the level of X game or Y game or whatever game you may think of, but it will have it. Any propaganda is propaganda nonetheless.
And also on just a common sense level, like I said earlier, you can disagree with someone politically, but what's the gain? What is to be gained by saying you're happy that Charlie Kirk was killed? Basically, indirectly saying he got they're saying he got what he deserved and stuff. What is beneficial about that? You're making if you're all right. For example, if I was making a game, I was a game developer, which I am actually making a game. Let's say I was an actual big developer with a big following, big reputation or whatever. And I'm making a game, and then Joe Biden died. Let's say, even though we don't wish violence on anybody, let's say that something happened to Joe Biden or something, or somebody like that. And what is to be gained by me saying, "Oh, I'm glad that happened"? Even to the people that I might not agree with, there's literally nothing to be gained by saying something that hateful. All I'm doing is showing people that I'm hateful and they shouldn't support me. Because I'm pretty sure that even people that are right wing would even say hey, we don't like him, but you shouldn't say that. Probably shouldn't be saying that.
Well, so let me actually answer that with this Drew Harrison person. He wrote that because they're delusional. They think they're in their echo chamber. Mind you, they
Everyone.
wrote this on Blue Sky, and they even got some pushback on Blue Sky in the comments from what I
They
saw.
think everyone thinks
But-
like them.
Exactly, yeah. So they think, oh, I'm protected here on this site. No one's gonna disagree with me. That's why they usually run there. They ran. Everyone who ran there is because they want an echo chamber. They want everyone to have this fake positivity bullshit. They want people to think and view things the exact same way as them, and they don't want any pushback. They don't want any confrontation. They don't want to debate anyone. They don't want anything that they say to be challenged whatsoever. They just want everyone to sing kumbaya and to agree and slap hands and think that everything is the exact way as they view it, when that's not how reality works. So they have this warped way of thinking where I can say whatever heinous shit I want and everyone's gonna agree with me. That didn't happen.
Yeah.
They had to deal with the repercussions because there was pushback. If they were able to get away, my thing is this: they didn't get pushback, Sucker Punch would have still kept them around.
Yes, but also to that end, right? My whole point is, and while I agree with what you said was true. My whole thing is like, even if you think everyone agrees with you, you still have nothing to gain by being a public entity that is political in a space like gaming. So if you were like a commentator,
Yeah, I
like
know.
let's say like a Destiny
That's why I
type,
said delusional.
they're delusional, yeah. But also let's say like you're a Destiny type of person, like a Destiny type of
Right.
leftist. If you're like a commentator like that, even though that opinion's heinous, at least then it makes sense to comment that way. But you're literally making something that's supposed to bring enjoyment to people. So even mentioning this is taking you away from your escapism. Because imagine, I'm following this game because I'm interested in Ghost of Yotei 2. Not really, I'm Ghost of Yotei. I'll never buy that game, but pretend I was. And I go on to look at let me see what the devs say. Let me see what their account is. Maybe they'll talk about the game. Oh, it'll be fun. I can ask them, hey, can you put this mechanic? And I go on there and I see something like that. Even if I wanted the game, it still taints my escapism because they're bringing real world politics into it. Now I'm associating their politics with the game. You get what I'm trying to get at? Like, if some developer was only talking solely about the mechanics of their game, the graphics, the engine they're using, you are only associating the product with the person and not so much their political beliefs. But now, let's say I saw that and I was interested in the game. Now everything in the game I'm going to have a lens of scrutiny on and say, wait, was this made because they were leftist? Was this decision made because they were leftist? I kind of don't like this. It feels like girl boss shit. So they're actually like doubling down people's like noticing ability by bringing up their politics.
No, I just don't think there's any reason for them to. It's a net negative. It will set some people off. You know,
Exactly.
Like it's done.
Exactly.
It's done because they know it's going to anger a subsect of consumers, and that's why they do it, and that's why there should be. Well, there shouldn't be any sympathy for them.
Hate engagement.
Oh,
They are
shouldn't,
hate
yeah.
engagement, and they are actively trying to ruin the company.
Yeah. Because they're just
unprofessional. It's
hijacking.
very
They're a
unprofessional.
parasite.
And and the people who like validate this, like the people like upper management that validate this stuff, don't think you're going to be able to do that forever, right? Because eventually
they'll catch up to them.
it's going to catch up to them, and eventually they're going to get moved on.
Yeah, and that's why we always talk about it, but that's why their psychology is: I destroy the thing you like, or I hijack it. I infect it with the parasitic organism, and it ceases to be the thing that you value, or it continues, or it just gets destroyed and people hate it. Either way, ideologically, I win because I destroyed it or I hijacked it, and that's really what their mentality has been this entire time.
It's been like that for 10 going on 15 years.
Yeah,
it's
for a decade.
It's just gotten louder and louder as time has gone on. I think that's pretty much just put a pin in it, to be honest. I think I'm done.
Yeah, for example, either people accept the new Witcher or they don't. Either way, it dies, and we have no more Geralt sleeping with women being a dashing rogue. But if it does well, now we got a feminist game starring Siri that's guaranteed to sell. Right? That's like the psychology.
Yeah.
Yep.
So.
And they're gonna keep fucking up the lore with each new one too.
So in fuck them.
In conclusion, they're ass. Yes.
In conclusion,
yes.
fuck them.
Yeah.
Apollo, do you have anything else to say?
I kept
Before
it.
we move the panel.
I
Yeah.
have nothing to say. I kept it short and fast, keeping it like normal.
That's why we like you.
yeah. Just keeping it real.
Yeah.
That's why we like you, bro. Okay, so let's switch up the panel, and then obviously you can come back later, Apollo, and you can talk more.
Oh yeah, I would love to talk more.
Yeah, I want to talk about Randy. But after
Randy.
that, I'll have to head off because
Yeah.
I got a tooth extraction tomorrow.
Ooh, fun.
Oh,
little
yeah, I know,
little
right?
cavity action.
Well-
little cavity action. Oh. Yeah, so I got you.
Hopefully that goes well.
It should.
All right, so we'll switch you guys out for a little bit.
All right. We'll be backstage.
Jim
Every
Potts,
time they say Randy,
I'm gonna bring the 3 remaining people because there's only.
okay,
I'll just have one waiting.
okay, that's fine. Every time someone says Randy, I keep thinking of Randy Marsh from South Park.
Hello there.
My dog.
Oh wait, I'm sorry, I'm wrong. There's additional person, so I'll bring in 2. Then yeah, so.
Привет, Madar. Как дела? Что ты делаешь?
I'm not Russian.
I know you're not Russian. I was hoping that you might speak Russian.
After this, after
only know
this,
curse
I'll
words.
switch in Marty and
Suka bled.
Royce.
Suka bled. All right.
Svoloch.
Nakaleni
Hold on.
sasi moi hui suka bled. All right, yeah. Don't ever say that, people in the chat. So Madar, what are your thoughts, bro?
Well, first, I hope you like my icon. I chose it because I have big brain trots tonight.
Oh yes, I like
Yeah, I
it.
like it.
My
Indeed,
Yeah, that's cool.
indeed. Is that that's the
Evil god from Berserk, right?
Void.
Void,
that's
there you
God
go.
hand.
Yeah, with the god hand. The god hand,
The
yeah.
leader of the God Hand. Void.
Yeah. He looks so. I remember when I first saw him, I was like, this guy looks so freaky. Like you just knew it was gonna get nasty. When I first saw him, I was like, it's gonna get crazy.
You should see what's under his robe.
I don't remember. Actually, you used to read Berserk a lot. I just don't remember. I honestly don't remember. It's been a little bit now.
I don't know if it's canon or not, but there is an action figure of him, and under the robe there is only a spine and his arms.
Oh
He has
shit!
no body.
So he's just a floating brain skull thing. That's crazy.
Floating brain with
that.
arms. Floating
crazy.
head with arms.
That's pretty wild. If that is canon, that's kind of crazy.
If this is canon, because I said it's only just an action figure.
Yeah, a lot of action figures
What's
do
under
weird.
his robe is never shown in the manga or the anime.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. Because like, there's some figures of other things that I like, and they like take liberties, So
Yeah.
that's cool, man. So yeah, Madar, give us your thoughts, man.
Well, what should I start with? The Ghost of Yotei?
Oh, before you go, how you knew I was speaking Russian? You just detected it because of the sound, or you just you like no like how do you figure that out? I'm just curious.
I know a little bit of Russian, like I watched some, Russian speaking movies.
Okay, cool. Because I was like, damn, like most people don't know what the fuck language I'm speaking in. But
Yeah.
all right, all right. So yeah, sorry.
Also,
Yeah, just
Ukrainian is very similar from here.
Yeah, it's similar. It's really similar. All right, so give us your thoughts on
Actually,
whichever.
had a Ukrainian classmate in school.
Mhm. I have a Ukrainian friend that I talk to. He speaks Russian. A lot of Ukrainians also speak Russian. So
Yeah, she spoke Russian too. Her name was
Yeah.
Patricia.
yeah. The only reason why they don't speak Russian now is because of the war. It's like national pride, nationalist pride. They don't want to like speak the language of the people that they're fighting. But yeah. But anyway, so you can go on with whatever subject you want to start with.
I'm gonna start with Ghost of Yotei about
Okay.
ugly characters.
Mhm.
The thing about them is that at least if they're ugly, they should be interesting character and interesting writing. But they're not even that. Like For example, in Dragon Age Inquisition, Cassandra wasn't the most good-looking woman, but at least she was interesting in character.
Yeah.
But what can you say about these like modern characters, like for example, Abby? Like what's his character actually?
Her character is the angry black man stereotype projected onto a feminist trans visual
Yeah.
style. If you, I know it sounds, I'm not even making a joke. I mean, like literally, it's the angry, oppressed black man stereotype, but again, like projected onto a trans allegory.
You know, a better example, for example, as I said before, I played Dragon Age Vanguard.
Mhm.
In that Tash's his personality mostly revolves around her being, you know, non-binary.
Mhm.
And that's what majority of his cutscenes include. They never talk about, you know, the relationship with her mother or the fact that she literally breathes fire. Like
Yeah.
that little fact is almost never mentioned.
The actual
Only
interesting
justified.
things.
Yeah, the actually interesting that she breathes fire is almost never mentioned.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, man. I'm surprised you played that game because I saw that game and I was like, I am not gonna buy or play this shit.
Yeah, well,
Same here.
I was a Dragon Age fan.
I feel you. I feel you.
Yeah.
But I guess like
What's funny about, you know, the non-binary stuff and other shit in Dragon Age is that my character was a dwarf that looked like Jesus, like literally looked like Jesus, like long brown hair and beard. I kid you not.
that's hilarious.
Yeah,
But that's kind of how I felt with Arkham, where Suicide Squad to Kill the Justice League came out. Like I saw that game, and as big of as my whole channel is pretty much mostly Arkham shit. I was like, I am not buying this crap. You know, I just couldn't do it.
yeah.
So I get it though, but I mean, I'm not trying to give you too much flack because I understand when you're a really hardcore fan of something, you know, you're incentivized. You're gonna feel like more eager to buy it. I'm just glad that
I saw
like
the red flags too. I just wanted to give it a chance, you know,
yeah,
since I was a Dragon Age fan.
yeah. But I think that ultimately, like the best outcome is to just give no mercy to anyone unless they can prove.
Yeah.
I feel like the burden of proof that they're not doing bullshit is on them now. It used to be give them the benefit of the doubt, but like for me personally, I would never give any company the benefit of the doubt ever again. Period. Like it's just not going to happen until they can prove to me that they're not doing bullshit, which means like through trailers, through what the devs say, through like, you know, word of mouth from people that are not like, you know, corporate slaves or whatever. And like I just can't just like that game Ready or Not. I wanted that game Ready or Not, and then I found out what was going on with the devs for it, and I was like, oh hell no, I'm not buying this.
I think I
They
heard
lost that
about
right,
it.
getting the benefit of the doubt once they started cramming in propaganda, ideological bullshit, far leftist ideological bullshit in their games.
Well, they lost their credibility when they tried to hide it. That's when they lost credibility because even then, like if they did it on the surface, whatever. But then when they try to hide it, like, oh, Last of Us 2, yeah, play the game, Joel, and you find out he dies. They hide that from the marketing.
Yeah, they literally lied in the trailer. They put a scene in the trailer that not exists in the game.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
Joel talks with Ellie. That scene doesn't exist within the game.
They lost the benefit of the doubt when you bought Wolfenstein New Colossus and then you play the game and you realize that all they do is complain about white people throughout the entire period of the game. That's when they lost the benefit of the doubt, when they started lying to you. Because at least leftists that tell you who they are, at least they're telling you who they are. But when you make a game like Uncharted and then all of a sudden Drake becomes incompetent and needs Elena to teach him shit that he taught her, when when he can't land a finger on Nadine for whatever arbitrary feminist reason, and that's all hidden and obscured from the trailers, and when you have stuff like that, that's when they lost the benefit of the doubt. At least if you're a lying leftist, you can say it to and you say it to our faces, that's a different story.
Also,
at least when you say it to our faces, it's different. Yeah.
Also in Wolfenstein, the New Colossus, like a lot of the characters clearly there for propaganda. For example, Deborah Wilson's character.
Yep.
Like we recruit her, and after that, she literally does nothing. Like, what does she help us with?
Her purpose in that game is to be political commentary about why white people are bad. They have this fat white woman that gets blacked by this Jamaican-looking side character, Like,
He's from like Zimbabwe or
bro, I'm
Namibia,
keeping it real. I'm
Namibia.
keeping it real. Not only is that an offensive stereotype, right? The black dude who fuck any girl as long as she's white, you know, the fat white bitch with like the black, the black. Like, not only is that an incredibly offensive stereotype in and of itself, but it's done without any like. It's like that game just exists as propaganda. The only propaganda in that game the only thing in that game that I actually thought was like a good message was in the beginning of the game where the young BJ had that little black girl he had a crush on, and then they were like making racial shit at each other that they were both taught to make, you know, like they were both conditioned by their racist parents. And then they realized that they could be friends, that it's stupid. You know, they started like laughing. They realized they would like, you know.
Also about that little girl, when I first played the game, I thought that was, you know, the young Deborah Wilson. Like,
yeah.
Is
But
that supposed to be her?
no, it's not her. It's not her.
Yeah.
But the point is that to me, that message is actually good because it's saying like, hey, you're taught racism, right? Racism is taught. That's okay. But then everything else just kind of like undid that, because then when you play the later game, then you find out all the characters in the resistance are all racist toward white people. So it kind of undoes its own narrative. Like they had something with that beginning section, but it was completely lost the second that they started to like, you actually like play the rest of the game, right, and see what's up.
Also,
So,
not to mention the other group,
hold on, let me just say,
communists. Like
let me just say,
communists.
yeah, they're communists. Exactly, they definitely are. I was going to get to that. I just want to say one last thing about that game. That game is probably the most woke game of all time, even more than some of the other ones. I would say it's like probably like top 3 most woke games that ever existed. Close with Dustborn, even, I would argue. But anyway, yeah.
Yeah, like the second group, the bunch of communists, like they don't help us either. Like, why are we recruiting them? Like, we bring them to our base and they literally does nothing. Like, BJ does all the work.
Yeah,
like
they don't do shit.
In the first game, when you recruit someone, they sometimes they escort you in a mission or something. Like, for example, in the London map, there is a guy called Bobby in our group.
Yeah, he blows up in the car, right? Yeah.
He actually helps. Like, Deborah Wilson, the commies, we just recruit them and they never do anything.
They just tell BJ what to do. But you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. I was replaying Wolfenstein: The New Order, and I had the illusion in my mind that I thought like, oh, the first one wasn't like woke like that. But then I'm playing through it again now, and I'm like, no, it was also woke. It just was less obviously woke. They got the typical like paraplegic, you know, disabled person as the leader of the resistance. You have the one black dude that's somehow in Berlin, in a world that's controlled by Nazis. It just happens to be this black dude in Berlin. You know, they have a lot of woke shit in the first game too. So
also there is the Camp Bellica part. Like there are black people in that camp. Why
yeah,
are
it's
there?
like why? Like I don't understand.
Camp
like
is located in Southern Europe. Like
yeah, but it's like they're in. Remember, you're in Berlin, bro. Berlin in the 40s was not fucking diverse at all. How did they get there? How did they end up there?
Croatia. Like that Camp Bellica is in Croatia. Like how are there black people there?
Yeah, at least with the second game, it's in America. A lot of it is in the US, so you can say, okay, it's in the US. But like, I'm like playing the first game. I'm like, how the fuck did this fake ass like Jimi Hendrix get into fucking Berlin? And it's not just any Berlin. It's like a Berlin in the 60s where the Nazis won the war. Like, unfortunately, like they ain't gonna be no a lot of black people in that place. You know, like
they actually choose the version where Fergus lives. So instead of the Jimi Hendrix guy, we have, you know, Tekla, the autistic, or I don't know what she's supposed to be, woman.
Yeah.
Tekla, that weird woman.
Yeah, you're talking about the main lady with the wheelchair, right?
No. Instead of Jimmy, we have Tekla, you know, is weirdo woman. She can walk.
Yeah.
Says weird shit.
Yeah.
You know, brown hair.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yeah, exactly. So like, and again, remember, who's the main love interest of BJ? This Polish woman, right?
Yeah.
So, and you know, she's not just Polish. She's like, Jewish Polish, like more ethnically Jewish. Again,
she's Jewish.
What happened?
Anya, are you talking about Anya?
Anya, yes. Anya is
Polish. No, she is not Jewish. I think you're mistaking her for BJ's mother. BJ's mother was Polish and Jewish.
I could have sworn that Anya was also like Jewish as well. Like she's Polish, but like she's like a Jewish ethnicity or something like that.
No, I
I don't
don't think
remember.
she's Jewish.
Well, regardless of the point, man, it's very clear like that. Even the first game was like crazy propaganda.
Yeah.
It's crazy propaganda. But anyway, so continue on, Madad.
Yeah. What did I want us to say? The studios, you know. Now let's get to the goes to Yotei. For example, you know, there's I lost my thought. Whatever. Now, you know, Ghost of Yotei. For example, like if the rumors are true, the Ghost of Yotei was meant to be, you know, a direct sequel to the first game, you know, Ghost of Tsushima with Jin Sakai. But they changed it, you know, this Erika Ishii. Hello?
Oh, you know, yeah. Wait, hold on a second. Someone wrote a comment that's actually true. I forgot about it. Tasty Z says the Nazis stole the Jewish magic to create the pretty much. I forgot about that. Yep, they took their ancient godlike alien level tech that they just happen to have. That's one of them. It's so like it's like such an obnoxious like power fantasy like with that stuff for those people that I just find it funny. Anyway, continue on. Sorry.
Also about the Jewish magic shit, like Seth wrote, you know, the Jewish guy we have on the team. Like,
Yeah.
She was one of those inventors. Like they said they invented shit like that so they can get close to God through, you know, creation.
Yeah.
But how would creating, you know, these super weapons get closer you to God?
Yeah. You know, that's that like
magic balls that can destroy bridges, like
that's that Kabbalah stuff.
Yeah.
That's like Kabbalah, like Talmud, like lore shit. Like, yeah, you're right, man. It's weird. It's just obvious. Like that game is so much. Is this so much? Like, because when I think about the first game, I remember playing it. I'm like, oh, the second game is like way worse. They went crazy. But then I played the first game. I'm like, it's not as bad, but it's there. It's 100% there, and it's unavoidable. Like, it's crazy. But anyway, sorry. Continue on.
Also, like I only played the first and the second Wolfenstein. The third I didn't play because, you know, it was scope and hard. Even the gameplay itself was bad. Not to mention that I prefer the first one's art style. The second and third one just looks, you know, very plastic. Like the guns look bad.
The third one's an abomination. The third one's a complete, total abomination. The second one, the gameplay is worse than the first one, but it's acceptable. But it's also the far more like woke. And then the first game is playable, but like now that like my eyes are like more like attuned compared to when I first played it. Because even when I first played the game, I've been against the woke shit since like 2010. Like people used to call me crazy when I would tell people about like the shit that I was saying, and then like. So, but even in 2014, when the game came out, I was like, oh, okay, whatever. I noticed it a bit, but I didn't think much of it. But now that I go back and play it, I'm like, nah, bro, this game is like really woke.
Yeah. Also, but you know, Wolfenstein, like I had an argument with someone, you know, games that, you know, replace the male lead with females, like Youngblood replaced PJ with 2 women. Dishonored 2 replaced Corvo with a woman, Emily. Like, you know, in Dishonored 2 you can play with either Corvo or Emily, but the developers themselves said that Emily is the canon choice.
Witcher 4, now they want you to play as a woman.
Yeah.
What was that other game?
Witcher 4. Witcher 4, for example, it's a what?
We talk about Dishonored 2?
Dishonored 2, yeah.
Dishonored 2. They replaced Corvo, you know, the main character was a man with a woman.
They've been doing that with a lot of games. They've been doing that with a lot of games. Like they've established series are trying to replace the main characters with women.
Yeah.
They even did that with Uncharted. The Uncharted DLC, you play as Nadine and Chloe.
Yeah. I don't mind that much because it's a DLC and Chloe is an established character, like it's a spin-off sort of sorts, so it's kind of acceptable. But in Witcher, they replace Geralt with Ciri. Like it's a continuation, not just a spin-off with Ciri.
Well, they're trying to tell us, and even when they don't have that, they make the men incompetent or they make them like buffoons. You see a lot of movies now where like the mothers are like single mothers with like 3 kids, but they somehow have like high paying like career jobs. Like they're like, it's crazy because you're seeing it so much now that it's clearly what they're trying to tell people. They're trying to make it seem like men are not useful for heroism or defense, right? Like that's why they're trying to replace all these heroes with women. But then on top of that, they're also trying to portray that you can have a family without needing a father in the family. So they're basically trying to dehumanize men to the point where they're useless. They're trying to create the false narrative that they're useless in society because basically the elites want to indoctrinate people that way so that they can come in and have government become the daddy in the household, right? And if government is daddy in the household, then it's easier to manipulate and control people, right? Like, well, if you have man, because remember, a man is ultimately like a barrier in your family. Because you could say, all right, well, I'm the leader of this household. I don't want this. I'm going to try to guide my children the right way. Women are genetically predisposed to be more agreeable, which is why most leftists tend to like be women or like extremely feminine men generally. Emotional men. So because they're more easily swayed, that's the target for the indoctrination. And where the women go, the men follow because men want women, right? Men want to be married. They want to be in these relationships. So in a way, it's kind of like trying to replace the father as a figurehead in the family and just make it that government becomes daddy and government makes all the decisions and families listen to government daddy like they normally would with the father of the family. I know it sounds kind of like crazy, but that's really what's happening. That's what's been going on. That's what Democrat shit is built off of, right? If instead of a father paying for paying to take care of his family, you have government support, right? Like welfare, SSI or whatever.
Yeah.
Instead of dad guiding his family, government is going to protect the family. Government, like, oh, you shouldn't have guns. The government will protect you. The police force will protect you. You don't need the Second Amendment, right? Like, it's all just to strip away any defense that you have toward people's minds. It's really dark stuff. So sometimes I feel even like cautious talking about it because I feel like if I talk about it enough, then I can end up being targeted for saying that stuff, which is obvious to me, but I know that it's important to talk about.
Yeah, think about, back to Ciri. For example, in Witcher 3, I chose the Empress ending, where she becomes the Empress of Nilgard. In Witcher 4, which is, I think it is supposed to be a continuation. So if in Witcher 4 she is going around, being a Witcher and hunting monsters, so does that mean that my Empress ending is non-canon?
That is a good point.
Yeah.
I think the ending is kind of generic though to Witcher in the sense that I don't think
Look at
that
Witcher 3.
with The Witcher 3, I think whatever you did at the end of The Witcher 3 will be irrelevant to where Witcher 4 starts from. I don't think Witcher 4 is going to start from like the canon ending of Witcher 3. I think all the endings are somehow canon and are going to not matter in Witcher 4. I think that's what they're going to do.
Witcher 3 actually kind of respected the canon. For example, in the beginning, I can choose some dialogue, to confirm what did I do in the previous game.
The Witcher 3 is a great game. Like I love The Witcher 3. And I feel like the ending wraps up the series nicely. What I'm trying to say is that Witcher 4 is going to just ignore whatever you chose as Geralt. It probably won't be directly mentioned at all, so that they all somehow are canon and not canon at the same time because they're never mentioned. So, for example, I chose Yennefer. You might have chose Triss. And our endings are entirely different, right? I chose the boring ending where you settle with Yennefer and they have a family, they start like living together, whatever. It's like a peaceful ending. And that ties into how the DLC starts. But I'm willing to bet in Witcher 4, Geralt will not directly mention anything that can allude to the ending of 3. Like his personal like ending where like he probably won't mention Yennefer specifically as the choice or Triss specifically as who he chose. And they'll just use it. They'll be vague with it to avoid any ending stuff, contradictions, or like you said, maybe in the beginning you could choose your backstory and they can do that again, which is possible as well. But I think because we have an incompetent team now, obviously, because having Siri be the main character shows you that there's going to be a level of incompetence with the development when we know that they probably won't even do that.
Also, but ignoring.
But with Ghost of Yotei, Madar, like, what do you think of the boycott that's going on?
First, I wanna say one last thing about Dragon Age. For example, the ignoring canon stuff. Before release, they said they only 3 choices can carry through. If you wanna kill or spare Solas, if you disbanded as Inquisition or not, and who do you romanced. The Inquisition and Solas part are relevant, but the romance part is that unless you choose Dorian or Solas, the Inquisitor will never mention his or her choice of love.
Yeah. I think that's what they'll do with Witcher 4, something similar like that. So what was the other thing?
So the boycott. For example, I don't feel bad about these developers because, it's Drew Harrison, man or woman, whatever she's supposed to be. Like, she's crying about, free speech and such. Like, I don't feel sad at all about it because, let's be honest, these people don't respect free speech at all. They just want to use it as a shield to protect themselves from, the backlash.
Yeah. Exactly. They don't believe in free. They don't believe in free. Here's the thing about free speech. They believe in free speech for them, but not free speech for you. And ultimately, freedom of speech doesn't negate freedom of consequences, right? Like I can't be jailed for calling somebody whatever racist terminology, but I'm not entitled to them not trying to slap the shit out of me for saying it. So or in the case of even though you shouldn't use violence over words, I'm just using as an example that you have freedom of speech. The government should not be able to directly intervene in what you're allowed to say, but you're not free of consequences. If you say something like black people should never do this or whatever it may be, and the company that I work for decides that harms their brand, they are within the right to fire me. That's not an attack on my free speech. That's a reaction to what could logically damage the company's reputation. Or if you go to a place where it's highly populated by white people and you say something crazy like racist toward them and then they retaliate against you, you have the right to say that. The government can't arrest you. If I call the cops, they can't arrest you. But what they do to you as a result of saying that is the consequence. And I think people forget that that's what free speech actually is. You have the freedom to say something, but not freedom of consequences.
Yeah. Yep. Also, speaking of freedom of speech,
problem when Trump was suspended for years on X, right?
Yeah, they in fact celebrated it, but now that Jimmy Kimmel was fired, it's supposed to be
right. Yet now we gotta feel bad.
Yeah, they cry fascism as such because he was fired.
Madar, they're saying that your voice resembles the villainous profile picture that you had. I think that's really funny, man. I want you, Madar, just say.
I have a bit more hair.
Just say "destroy guts" or something. Say "destroy guts" in a cool way. Just say, go ahead.
Destroy guts.
There you go.
All right, mission complete. Okay, so it's Frostbearing. It's Y chromosome. Chromosome, my man, my buddy, the main one, the homie. Give us your thoughts.
Well, it's Frost.
Wait a minute, I didn't finish.
Oops. My bad. Frostbearing, my main man, the homie. What's up? Give us your thoughts.
Yeah.
When it comes to this whole Ghost of Yotei situation, I'm not really surprised that this has come back to bite sucker punch in the ass. I mean, I still remember from when it was first announced, at least with the game, about the new character, and also I saw all the information about the actress online, and it pretty much wrote it off for me personally already just from that. because I actually did enjoy the first game, and I did want to see Jin more so, and I don't think there was anybody else anyone who enjoyed the original Ghost game that didn't want to play Jin in a direct sequel to it. And for them to go in this direction and to have the voice actress be, well, who the voice actress is, it's just, well, it's this whole situation with Sucker Punch. It just shows to me what I already knew, and that's she wasn't cast for no reason, and her casting was a part and showed the bigger picture of what's going on within that studio, and more importantly, the type of people that are in it. So,
I'm going to interject real quick. Let's not forget though that Ghost of Tsushima had some woke shit in it too with that lesbian subplot. Just want to add that because that was definitely in the first game too, and to some degree.
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember that. And actually thinking back on it, that came out of
it
nowhere.
was between an
really,
old woman and a younger woman.
Yeah, like you could have just had that not be in the game, and it wouldn't have really changed that storyline. It just kind of
it was just to say, hey guys, there were gay lesbians in this era of Japan. Did you know there were gay lesbians at this era of Japan? Because that was a thing that could have possibly happened. Here, pay attention to this, right? It's kind of crazy how there's a gay lesbian in Japan. All right, back to the main game. That's really all it was for. It was just a random virtue signal points for no reason.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you there. And actually, it kind of reminds me, and I believe it was brought up about Dragon Age. It reminds me of like an Inquisition if you played it. That that one character, Krem, that was with Iron Bull, where Krem was a trans character, and I remember there being all this talk.
Krem was actually just a cross-dresser. Like in a conversation, it's mentioned that she still wears bras. Like she's not actually trans.
Okay. Oh, my bad. Sorry, I guess I misremembered. That's my mistake. But,
I mean, you could make the argument that if she's trying to present herself as a man and willing to like hide her femininity, you could argue that that's still like being a trans person, because like trans is just about presenting yourself as the sex that you are not or that you think that you are, which is why a lot of these trans men don't want to cut their dicks off but they still want to be treated as women, which is crazy. But whatever. Yeah. Just want to add that in there because.
Yeah, that was a mistake on me. I forgot the full detail of it, but I remember them putting that in, and it was pretty front and center. I could tell what they were trying to do with that, and of course, you see what happened in Veilguard, and frankly, what happened with BioWare with that. So, but getting back to Ghost of Yotei, I figured that something like this probably would happen, after Kirk's assassination, that somebody would come out and say something like that, given how the voice actress is. And unfortunately, with what I think a lot of these Sony studios have in terms of employees, because, a lot of people do rightfully point out about, the whole thing with Druckmann and Naughty Dog and a lot of these and some of these other games. But the thing is that if some of the biggest studios are filled with all these activists, I mean, what's that to say with all the other ones and all the other big ones as well? So yeah, it doesn't surprise me, and I don't blame people for boycotting it. Though I will admit I do wish more people boycotted it just from seeing, all the information about the voice actress, instead of unfortunately what happened with Kirk. That's my thing with it.
I agree. I agree with Crossburn because they should have.
Yeah.
They should have. They should have wanted to avoid the game once they saw like what she was posting.
Yeah, and I agree. And another thing I could bring up as well is, and this is just a smaller topic for a second, but it's kind of related. It's involving about some of those people that were at Bethesda, including that one tweet that they put on and deleted after people pretty much called them out on it. And it reminds me of when on Twitter, I remember they were showing like these 3 employees who had been at Bethesda for a while. I believe it was during that video when they were releasing the Oblivion remastered, and all of them were women that had the hair on it. And I remember that day in particular. I think it was Cabrutus and Grums. Both of them were pointing out that, hey, because of how they looked and how things were going, that there's a good chance that these kind of people are in Bethesda as well. And crazy enough, I remember both of them just getting, and the thing is, both of them were getting complete shit from all these people. And one of whom was that Fratanga Plays guy that I think Rev had in his video.
Fratanga's a brain dead fool.
He was defending it. We
Yeah,
owe
and I'm
this
like-
man an apology.
Yeah,
Not
and,
woke.
Yeah, and
Fake ass Seth Rogen sounding ass.
yeah, and actually another thing too is Cabrutus himself. Cabrutus himself, he even put up another comparison as well, and he brought up that one writer from Dragon Age Veilguard who had who had like the blue hair on and stuff, which that pretty much gave me a red flag with Veilguard when I saw a picture of what he looked like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Patrick Weeks. Yeah, and what's crazy to me is he was a writer on Trespasser, which it's actually insane to see how quickly things change in some years. But he was still getting criticized despite putting that comparison. And I'm like, and I was sitting there this whole time, and I'm like, okay, first of all, you can criticize Grumps for a number of things, but this is the one time where I'm like, bro, Grumps isn't wrong on this shit. Like, and also those employees
Grumps is right. Sometimes like, he says things that are like he does things that are crazy, but sometimes he's right. There are times where he's just absolutely correct.
Yeah, and going with Bethesda, I'm like, okay, these employees have been there for 20 years, for over 20 years with Bethesda. I get that and I understand that, but there's a few things with it. One, they all pretty much have that same look, the type of look I'm talking about with these actors.
Oh yeah, we know.
Like the colored hair.
Well, power dynamics change.
Yeah, that is true. And another thing too, what does that mean for Bethesda? Yeah, they've been here for 20 years, but what's happened with Bethesda in 20 years? I mean, from what was it like Morrowind down, they've been decreasing in quality. And their recent release was Starfield, which the only memorable thing that people remember about it was Heel versus Babyface's rant on it.
Yes. Well, you got to look. Let's put it.
Starfield, unfortunately.
Let's put it in perspective. Every big company that you like is hijacked. They all are.
Pretty much.
All of them. Collectively, they're hijacked because they're playing DEI games, because investors, if that company has an investor, then understand that they are hijacked. Also, remember that when it comes to like the actual themes in the game and the people involved, remember, you have a person within, all right, how do I put it? I want to word this correctly. You have people that form a team, and they might have been with the team for 20 years and they might have had a specific role. But because of political or investment, DEI reasons or whatever it may be, they could end up taking a bigger stage in that company than they previously had for the sake of whatever propaganda, whatever like DEI reasons occur, right? So for example, if you have like a woman who might have just been like a designer of some characters, but now they're pushing all the woke feminist bullshit, they could up her role and promote her to a position that's way more powerful and influential over the game. So a developer being in a game company for 20 years is not a good reason to justify like and say, oh well, they were there for 20 years. Yeah, but were they like the director for 20 years? Were they the lead writer for 20 years? What was their role beforehand?
Look at Neil Druckmann. What happened with him?
Like Neil Druckmann. So I never liked that excuse. And again, all of these game companies are hijacked. All of them. If they have investors, if you know the name of that company, they are likely hijacked. If they're like a name that's big, They are hijacked because the investors are the ones that are pushing the DEI shit because they're trying to play those games because they want the biggest return on their investment. And again, investors make money when a game fails, but the investors can still end up making money. If you're getting prepaid, getting DEI money is like getting prepaid for the product. So if I make $3 million, for example, and the product fails, I don't care because I made $3 million. Even if the product fails, yeah, I could have made more, but it doesn't matter because I got a guaranteed amount via whatever investment happened. And also the investors themselves might have an agenda, and they might be willing to take a hit in order to promote that agenda for whatever other reason. So I think that
I was
when you
going to
think
say
about
an example of what you're saying. I don't mean to cut you off, but
that's fine.
I just want to add this example to add to your point. That look at Spider-Man 2 from Insomniac. They had all that gay shit in there, but when in the Saudi Arabia version, it's all gone.
That's
Because
true.
they don't really care about what they're pushing. It's all about the bottom dollar. Their investors.
Exactly.
Because
Exactly.
That's what
And
that's
they
all
chose
that matters to them.
and they chose contradicting their own bullshit beliefs that are not even their own real beliefs. They were willing to contradict it because it meant that they made money in Saudi Arabia instead of $0. The idea that they could make millions of dollars instead of zero in Saudi Arabia made them push their morals aside. Same with WWE. They had all that women shit where women women were not allowed to wrestle in their normal attire. So WWE said, all right, we're going to cover them in fucking bodysuits so that they could still wrestle in Saudi Arabia because all that pro women shit in wrestling, I'm just using that as an example, by the way. In wrestling, all that pro women or women's revolution shit goes out the window when they lose money in Saudi Arabia. So even they don't believe in what they're doing. These companies are not people with beliefs and morals. They're entities that are willing to do whatever it takes to make money. If aliens ruled the world tomorrow and they said, you must include the aliens as the heroes in order for your company to make games, they would do that. They have no morality. They are just an entity. They are not a person. And because of that, you should expect that every single game is going to adapt some woke shit in it unless they're independent. And remember that even as an independent, they're going to be heavily suppressed if they don't play ball with certain ideas. So
Yeah.
it's just worth mentioning, man, because, that's just the nature of how these companies work.
Yeah. Yeah. You're definitely right with all of that. And also to add into it, it's not just even these investors. I mean, I've been around enough to see how these, progressives are. And even when it comes to even when it comes to these gaming studios internally, there's probably office politics. And God forbid somebody disagrees with them. I mean, hell, they're probably going to get kicked out immediately if they do something. Like, these people are very cutthroat and they're very, and there's a word I've come up with, they're very ideologically nepotistic in a sense.
Yeah.
As well.
Well, yeah, of course, man. It's ideological nepotism. Like, again, why you think that it's ruled by leftists? Look at Hollywood. Gaming is just an extension of Hollywood now, anyway. Especially like in the AAA department. So Hollywood has gone full woke. Why wouldn't gaming follow suit, right? Now we're living in an era where hyper-realism, where Hollywood's like, well, no one's buying all our shit because it got all woke. But here's this market that it has a big fan base and we can make way more money, right? Instead of $10, $15, $20 a movie ticket, now you're dealing with $60 a game, $80 a game. They're going to try to shift over, right? And you're seeing that now. That's what you're seeing in games. You see Wolverines of the world. You see an extension of the Hollywood writers entering into gaming, TV show writers entering into gaming. The more celebrities you see and their likenesses being used, that's also a bad sign because it shows you how much money is actually being invested. Because think about paying an actor like Keanu Reeves to be in a game. It's not cheap, right? That means at higher investment levels. So you just got to think about that, man. And honestly, when it comes to like indie games, I think are a solution. But even as players of games, we have to have reasonable expectations of small teams, one-man teams who are trying to make products that counteract, because you have to support like these small projects. Yeah, they might not be like big AAA games, but by supporting them, they can grow into a company that can produce higher quality shit that's objectively not woke. But as long as we don't give them any legitimacy at all, the outcome is going to be is that they're going to be gate kept out of the industry, and you're never going to get like the AAA games that we really do deserve, right? Like, for example, imagine what God of War could have been like if they didn't do the shit that they're doing now. If it was made like the older God of Wars, but with higher level graphics, right? The same levels of gore, the same levels of action, but with just better visuals. Imagine what
Better
whatever other
skills.
yeah, like whatever other game. Imagine what it could have been like if they weren't forced to do all this ideological shit. So if you have like
Yeah.
a small indie team and they have the money to keep expanding the scope of their games, they can retain their same vision, and then that they can eventually evolve into a AAA company that's not held back by investors. But until we give them some legitimacy, I think that we're doomed to just hope that AAA does what we want them to do, which is not going to happen. You know?
Yeah, that's definitely true, and that's actually easily one of the bigger issues when it comes to games is that you can clearly tell the Hollywood effect is there, and unfortunately, it's definitely completely destroyed the AAA industry and really a number of games in general because it always just seems like everything has to have that hyper realistic feel to it as well. Or, and this is another issue, you have these kind of movie games where they're completely imbalanced in regards to their cutscenes and the gameplay. Like
Yeah.
even games, in the past when they did have cutscenes, yeah, some cutscenes were going for a few minutes or so, but even then, it was a lot better paced, and it didn't overstay its welcome in regards to that.
It was the important information that we needed to see done in the cutscenes, right? For example, Tyrant breaking out of the chamber, William Birkin showing how he died and got like resurrected. It was like just crucial shit that was important to the immediate story, not long walking scenes to artificially create character depth.
Yeah,
And yeah, what you're saying is absolutely true. Like in the end of the day, right? Like if you're playing a AAA game and you take those models, right? You take the character models. If you take the Ghost of Yotei models and put them in Spider-Man, Insomniac Spider-Man, it would look like they were from the same game. Like games don't have
mhm,
any identity anymore. They just have like different aesthetics based off like the era or time period. But the hyper realism makes every game kind of have this homogenized generic look. Like it's just
yeah,
realism, like just generic realism, which I think has
yeah,
ultimately like hurt the industry quite a bit actually, because these games are boring, man. Like even then, even if you try to play them, like no matter how fun the game may be, you're gonna have to deal with like boring sections that you just don't care about. Like for example, the first Insomniac Spider-Man game had the Mary
hmm
Jane and Miles Morales parts. Those shits fucking sucked. They were boring. They did nothing for the game. And not only that, I'm not going to go into details, but that part with Mary Jane was especially retarded because it was logically inconsistent. But that's a whole nother like deal entirely. I went into detail on that in another video. So
yeah,
in the end of the day, like we have to, if we want games for gamers, we have to buy games for gamers. We can't rely on Trump's executive order, because yeah, he could stop DEI from being forced into game by like lawful reasons or whatever. But that doesn't mean that companies can't just decide to do it on their own. They could still
yeah,
you could make it that DEI investment could be illegal, but that company could still be hijacked and say, well, we're going to make a leftist, far left ideological game anyway because that's what we want to do.
yeah,
So you can only
Yeah.
fight it by supporting games that don't fit that niche.
yeah, and
Well, I wanted to add something to what you guys were saying in regards to like gaming in Hollywood and all that,
yeah,
and which makes sense because I
Your
remember a
mic
few
is
years
not
ago. This had been
working.
played over 10 years ago. It was at one of the Game Award shows.
Your mic
Gaming
is
doesn't get
weird.
the same recognition as
okay, there we go.
as what was that?
Oh,
Your mic is not
you're
working
Oh, can you hear
you're
me
now.
kind of
now?
glitching there for. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
you
good
turn
now.
it to Optimus, or you're good now.
Oh, I did. Okay, so I'll just
Mhm.
repeat. I remember a few years ago that there was I forgot who it was talking on the Game Awards, was comparing it to like the Oscars or something like that, where it's like gaming is gonna be bigger, or gaming deserves the same recognition and all that, like something along those lines. And what you see now, it's like it's the same as modern Hollywood, where the stories aren't as good, the pacing is terrible. I mean, how many of these movies that you hear about that have like ridiculous amount of hours? It's like 4-hour movies, 3-hour movies, and that the
The only
stories aren't
one,
told very well.
let me just
Yeah.
say one thing. The only 4-hour movie that I saw recent, like almost 4-hour movie that I saw recently that was good was John Wick 4. And John Wick 4 had some forced inclusion bullshit in it too, by the way. But it was overall I like that movie. Just want to put that out there because like 4-hour movies are fucking too long, but that movie was not that
The
bad. I
blind
actually liked it.
Asian assassin.
Well, it wasn't even that. It was like this like random black like homeless dude with the dog is all of a sudden super important. I'm like, okay, this guy who's not mentioned is just happens to be as badass as
Doesn't
John
even
Wick.
have a name.
Whatever. Like you know what I'm saying?
Like, I mean, serious. His character is literally called Mr. Nobody, I think.
Like it was just some random dude that just happened to be as badass as John Wick. Like somehow, like it was clear that he was there to give a certain group of people more screen time in the movie because there was like really not a lot of black people in the movie. That being said,
So what
of
was
course,
that guy's
of,
purpose anyway?
Of course, I'm not saying that black people in the movie is automatically woke. That's fucking dumb. I'm just saying in the case of John Wick, it was definitely forced.
Yeah.
So, because I'm also not going to say just because you have a woman or a black person it's woke. That's also like a dumbass take as well. But in this case, it was woke. It was kind of woke.
Oh, and excuse me. Also, another thing. Oh, my bad.
No, I'm sorry. I was just gonna finish what I was gonna say. So we see now with how these games are, you have all the propaganda going on. They always have to have like forced diversity. There's always like some message about white man bad, political commentary, like always something to divide the audience instead of just making, like a good game or a good movie. Where how it was before, where it's like it didn't matter where you aligned politically, you can enjoy a good movie, like a drama or a comedy or an action movie. It's like now it's like they always have to be political. It always has to be diverse. It has to have something that investors that the people involved making this where they can please investors or just please themselves because a lot of these people involved within gaming in Hollywood are filled with activists. Same thing with like the comics industry or other forms of entertainment where you're seeing that where you have the diversity hires, you have these forced diverse stories and characters, and it's like they have no disregard as far as like what the setting is or the context of any
You
of
meant
this.
you meant no
Cram it in
regard
there
for
no
it.
matter what. No regard. I'm sorry. No regard for any of that because to them it's either they're gonna please the investors no matter what, for their bottom dollar, or they're gonna put in
So you can't.
their ideologies because they're so obsessed with it. They're
Wait,
yeah.
so you're saying I can't have a black Muslim in a game in 1400s Bohemia?
No.
I can't.
We should confirm with Daniel Vavra first, maybe.
I can't
Maybe
have
he wants
I
to
can't
retract what he said years ago.
I can't have a fake ass Lenny Kravitz in 1960s Berlin. Okay, I understand. Thank you for clarifying.
Funny about Musa? Wanna hear something funny about Musa?
Sure, go for it.
You know how unrealistic Musa is. For example, if a random, Chinese guy, you found a random Chinese guy in KCD2, even that was closer to reality than Musa. Because there were cases that, Chinese people in the Middle Ages or earlier actually traveled to Europe. Like, for example, there was one in, Chinese monk who traveled to the Pope, who visited the Pope, a Chinese monk. That actually happened. So seeing a Chinese man in KC2 would be more realistic than Musa, the man from Mali.
Yep, pretty much. And if people knew the history of Mali and the Musas, they would actually be pretty like horrified at some of the stuff they were doing. I mean, there's strong evidence linking a strong female trafficking and slave trade, female slave trade to the Malis. So to Mali, so
Mansa Musa, the famous king of Mali, she had like, hundreds of female slaves, hundreds,
yeah, and apparently
thousands.
there's like evidence that they were being transported in mass by caravans and shit like that. So I don't know how true it is, but I think that like, the fact that even in their inclusion, they're portrayed as like this good, wise, like noble society kind of makes me laugh because, if you think about what they were doing, it's like they were no better than any of the rest of the world that were doing bad shit.
Yeah, but people like to, glaze medieval Mali because, they had a lot of gold, and Mansa Musa because he was rich, but
it's like
Idi Amin and Saddam was also rich, but you don't see people glaze them.
And also, it's like the concept of noble savage, right? You ever heard of that? Like, where like, oh, Native Americans did nothing wrong.
Yeah.
They were all like peaceful. Like, people say, bro, they were like killing the fuck out of each other, like in history. It's just crazy. Like all those tribes that you see, like the Aztecs and shit like that. Like they were like messing each other up, Like they were like doing some crazy shit to each other. Like it wasn't all peace. It's like the way I look at it is like there was a conflict. They got invaded. That is fact. That they were invaded.
Also, what's funny about the Aztec that they were also colonizers. For example, they conquered and colonized the neighboring tribes and territories.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
That too.
That's it. Well, that's exactly what I'm saying now. That's precisely what I'm saying. That they were colonizing. They were killing each other, taking land from each other, doing all kinds of stuff to each other, and then history wants to portray it as like they were like these innocent, peaceful, loving tribes that were not like doing crazy shit to each other. Like war is unfortunately a universal aspect of humanity, and they America, like the colonizers, they invaded. They did invade. They had a battle, and the Native Americans lost, and that sucks. But that's part of the law of the world, the nature of the world. You have a battle, you lose, they got conquered. That's the end of it. So it's kind of the same thing with like Musa, where they're like trying to portray them as like these kind people, and in reality, like keeping it real, they were doing crazy shit too.
Another funny thing about Musa, there is a line where he says, that Henry would be not, harassed or waylaid in his way in Mali. But the funny thing is that an Arab traveler, Ibn Battuta, visited Mali and spoke with a lot of people, and once said, if a white person showed up in Mali, they would kill him on sight. Like literally said that.
Yeah, I believe it.
Literally said that, if a white person shows up there, they kill him instantly.
Well, I believe it, man. Because like in the end of the day, we have to stop assigning attributes to people that didn't exist, man. Like we have to stop pretending that like there's like these objectively good cultures, right? Like every culture has like things they did that were bad and good, and ultimately, in a way, things needed to happen the way that they did because we wouldn't be in the country we are today, right? I wouldn't be in the U.S. today if those bad things didn't happen. It's just the reality of it, right? Like if America never colonized, think about a world without the United States in it. How many countries modeled their like independence, their freedoms after the U.S.? Imagine the U.S. never did the shit that they did. Imagine they never fought wars. They never fought the Native Americans. They never had slaves, right? Because think about it. For every slavery might be a horrible thing, but because of that, now there are black people in this country that have opportunities that they wouldn't have had otherwise. So ultimately bad things happen, but
I think only like 10% or less owned slaves. So it wasn't even like a widespread thing.
Yeah, it wasn't as widespread. And remember, I guarantee you, if you ask most black people if they want to live in tribal Africa or the US, they're mostly going to want to stay in the US. And you know what? That's just a byproduct.
In America today are
descendants
of slaves.
Yes, exactly. That's true too. A lot of them are not descended from slaves as well. That's a whole other misconception that every black person in the US is descended from a slave from the 1800s, which is not true. So there's so many like factors that come into play, and then like I guess how it relates to gaming is that gaming is just like adding to it kind of just adds to that propaganda of like what a lot of these things mean,
Mm-hmm.
They just kind of I guess reinforces certain ideas, right? Certain leftist ideas.
Yeah.
Whenever you hear a person in a game complaining about like slavery
or whatever, bringing that up as part of like whatever modern game you're playing, that's a react. That's basically like reconfirming biases and reinforcing those stereotypes. Not those stereotypes. I'm sorry, those beliefs, those belief systems.
Also about reinforcing beliefs. In Cassidy too, there's a lot of, bullshit. For example, that fake pogrom that Sigismund started, that in reality never happened. Like there was never such a pogrom in, Gutenberg. Also, not to mention that, I'm Hungarian and like Sigismund is like a historical figure of ours. So portraying him in that light is, kind of offensive.
You're Hungarian?
Yes.
Oh, cool.
Sigismund, in Cassidy too, like he was a real person and a, famous ruler of ours.
Yeah. No, yeah. I know Sigismund was real. But yeah, that's crazy, man. So like, yeah, for you, I'm sure that game's especially offensive because of that, because you are Hungarian.
Yeah, I mean, Sigismund is not like, King Matthias, like our most famous is King Matthias, so, but still, Sigismund is up there too.
Mm-hmm.
The most famous and beloved ruler was King Matthias.
It makes sense. So I'm sorry, Frost Baron, we derailed from you. Did you say everything you wanted to say about it?
Well, just one last thing. I will say that I have noticed that a lot of people are, pointing out, especially I think after the USA stuff got cut out about, how woke is dead and stuff. But the thing I would say with that is, no, it's not. And really, I don't see the video game industry doing well unless there's a crash and they completely just start over with it, with it, especially in AAA. I don't think you're going to have games come back fully as strong as they were years ago, due to the fact that you still have these companies and the fact that these activists are in it and are in charge of it. Like, these people aren't going to go away, and as we've seen with other people, they're just going to get jobs elsewhere too, mainly
That's
because
what I
they have
was.
the same thought process.
That's what I was alluding to before. Is that like just because you get rid of like the USAID and the DEI and you can use executive orders to fight DEI, but ultimately, if the people in the company still want to promote the propaganda, they'll do it anyway, because that falls under free speech to promote whatever ideas they want in their games. So if they're hijacked enough, it doesn't matter if you outlaw it. It might be too late because the industry has already changed enough.
Yeah, and unfortunately, when it comes to that, another thing that I hate to say as a gamer myself, but if there is one flaw I've noticed with gamers is that they can be very inconsistent when it comes to understanding that.
Yes.
I because just recently I still saw people were willing to give you Ghost of Yotei a chance, and Jesus Christ, I mean, I still haven't forgotten that whole Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 situation earlier this year. Like,
The grifters,
Jesus, that was bad.
the people that expose themselves. Those are the grifters.
Yep. Yeah, but it wasn't just them. It was also, I saw other people, online that do
like
this stuff
clockwork.
with different games.
Corporate slaves and grifters. That's what it is. Corporate slaves and grifters.
Yeah,
Corporate
and
slaves.
sadly,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like an infinite cycle. They'll keep doing the same, and people will still support them and act like they'll just pretend like they never did any of that. They'll
oh, yeah.
brush all the Kingdom Come Deliverance fucking dick sucking under the rug, as if they never were going hard defending that woke trash of a game.
Mhm.
Now you gotta have people now who are still gonna support Ghost of Yotei because, well, I gotta try it, or I gotta judge myself. I gotta let people know. If
Yeah.
I can let 100 or something people know that the game is bad, then that's good enough for me. It's like, no, don't support it. You know it's shit.
Yeah.
Why support it? Why even promote it in any way on your channel of you playing a game? Just talk about the game. Like, you don't have to eat shit to know what is shit. Or even the
Yeah.
other analogy
Yeah.
which Jim Potty
And
used about the bear in the cave and all
Mhm.
that. You know it's a bear, then more than likely the cave is gonna have the bear in there, and you're gonna end up like everyone else that went in that cave with the bear.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same
Yeah.
thing.
Also, you
Like I
know
don't
why
know
they promote
why
And,
these
against
people
it
still give these
too?
companies a chance.
Because of the Steam numbers. Like it had over
oh yeah,
200,000
Oh
Steam
yeah,
numbers.
yeah,
But wait a minute, I
yeah,
made that
like
argument before many
those
times.
retards. Yeah,
I-
you
I've
Steam
made an
numbers
argument before that
as
Steam
if that
numbers
means anything.
doesn't
Well,
indicate, you know, wokeness.
yeah, because Madar is gonna. I know what Madar is getting at. Being woke does not have to do with how much money you make. You can make a shit ton of money and still be woke. Woke is an ideology. It's like a concept. It's a thing that's applied. It doesn't have it doesn't necessarily tie to if something made money or not. Something could be. Last of Us 2 sold extremely well,
Yeah.
and that doesn't mean that would anyone deny Last of Us 2 is not woke. So it doesn't matter if a game does well because wokeness is wokeness no matter what.
Also, I'm
and
referring to, you know, Steam numbers. For example, they say that, you know, these grifters, you know, talk about games being good as if, you know, large numbers indicate quality or wokeness. But for example, Starfield had over 300,000 players on Steam, and that game was woke, and it was also a pile of shit.
yeah, yeah, pretty much. And a lot of these games, yeah, they're pretty much good on Steam for a bit at first, but most of them just get forgotten about. And
Yeah.
also, another thing is, did you guys see about the whole thing with the GTA 6 voice actress as well?
No, I don't know about it.
You didn't?
Matthew Judge, or what's his name?
That Viper guy, the Australian, was the
Oh,
Australian?
I know about the
No, it
Australian
was a
guy,
female.
but
It was
it
a
was, but
female voice
it was
actor.
female. I didn't know.
it was an actress in the game, or was it like a commentator?
Yeah, I'm looking at it now, but
Can you give
apparently,
us
and
a
I don't know
quick
if it's,
recap?
apparently it's someone named Manny L. Perez, the actress of Lucia with GTA 6.
Okay.
And I have to, look, of course, I have to double check with this, but I saw something up, and she posted something on her Instagram reel about the whole Kirk situation,
Oh,
basically.
did she? Oh,
Yeah.
and what did
Look,
she say about
you
it?
guys can check it out. Well, it's basically this video. This guy's talking about the whole, thing about, oh yeah, you're comparing. Well, apparently this is black guy, and basically it's like, they're asking why is Charlie Kirk, why is death causing to outrule the Constitution, and basically they're basically this person that she's reposting is talking about like the whole Jimmy Kimmel situation and some other
Jimmy Kimmel's
events
a
like,
fucking idiot too.
well, yeah, it's that, but yeah, basically it's just like downplaying Kirk's death and stuff. It's basically
Well,
kind of something
Also,
that you'd
Jimmy was
see.
fired for, you know,
you know,
lying
Yeah,
on TV.
you know what I would say about that? That her
mhm,
mouth is doing all the hard work her ass was doing.
yeah, yeah.
I don't know if you
But
guys ever heard
you
that
could
one.
probably check. You could probably check it out
Well,
online
that,
and
that's
kind of see
that's
it
another game
yourself.
for sure. I'm not getting.
Yeah, she's a rumored
I mean, I was
actress
already
of it.
skeptical of it anyway, but
But we
for
know
sure,
they're
man, I'm getting
compromised.
it.
We already know Rockstar's compromised because they changed the game to
Yeah,
to please trans people. So we know where they align
yeah,
now. So that's all
yeah,
it
of
is.
course,
Like
yeah,
we know what they're gonna do.
yeah. This is
Also, they
further
were
confirmation of
compromised
that.
even Red Dead Redemption
And the
2.
worst thing worst thing an
That
attractive
too.
woman
Yeah,
could
that's a good
do,
point.
because from what I remember, she was pretty attractive. I don't remember, but the
Yeah,
worst thing the voice
Lucia.
actress for Lucia, from what I remember, I could be wrong, but the worst thing a woman could do is use her mouth to undo the work her ass does. If that
hmm
makes any sense.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, but anyway, that being said, yeah, it's true. So let's get other people in. I don't know if there's anyone else, but we do
Can I
have like
say
the
one last thing?
sure.
There are.
And
It's about this, you know,
also,
free speech and getting fired by these studios. All
mhm,
I wanted to say is that we shouldn't feel bad about them being fired because they fired other peoples for
Their beliefs,
way
yeah.
less, like being was even remotely right wing. For example,
Yeah.
I know two examples. First is Tripwire. They make the Killing Floor games.
Oh
In
yeah, that I remember that.
2021, the CEO of Tripwire was fired because he was anti-abortion. He was fired
Wow,
because of
I
that.
remember that.
Next
that's wild.
is CD Projekt Red. There was this real life Witcher school, basically like a cosplay group. CDPR shut them down because, well, first little recap. This group was founded by two men, Dominic and Dustin, and the reason why CD Projekt Red shut them down is because Dustin's wife was part of some, conservative group. Like literally shut it down because Dustin's wife, who wasn't even, I think, part of this group, like she had nothing to do with this real life Witcher school. Like CDP Projekt Red shut them down.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, that's
Like, you know,
horrible.
they were way more intolerant than us.
Yeah.
Why should
Yeah.
these people said nothing, insane, like
Well,
celebrating Charlie Kirsten.
one side wants censorship, the other doesn't. But the other side, but one of them wants to call everyone a fascist, but wants censorship. The other wants free speech, but they're called all kinds of shit.
And that's why I couldn't take seriously their claims of, cry about free speech because,
Yeah.
they demand us to be censored, but we're supposed to protect their free speech.
Well,
That's not how it works.
what is cancel culture? Cancel culture is you say something I don't like, so I'm gonna try to ruin your life. So don't say the
Yeah.
words I don't like, or I'm gonna try to ruin your livelihood. That's pretty much anti free speech as you get. That's why I said Pam Bondi shouldn't do this hate speech shit because it's just doing what the
I
Democrats
agree.
are gonna do. But let's move
Yeah.
on because we're already almost at 3 hours in, and there's other subjects and other people. I think everyone got to talk quite a bit, so especially me, I got a big mouth.
Yeah.
I got a big mouth. Anyway, I'm just playing.
I
So,
think
Yeah.
I go now.
all right, Madar.
It's late
Greetings.
here anyway, so see you next time.
See ya. Have a good night. Good night.
See you guys next-
Greetings to Hungary, and see you later, bro.
Thanks.
Yes. Have a good night and appreciate you coming on again, Madar.
Madar.
And you're gonna like the new intro. You'll like it.
I hope so.
All right, so let's shift them out and get someone else, and then what we'll
Yes.
do is there's still 2 more subjects left, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
this is two.
What are the other 2 subjects again? We talked about
Borderlands 4 Backlash and the woke localizer that's been hired by a major Japanese studio.
Okay, so
We could probably breeze through those two, to be honest. I think
yeah,
so.
yeah, but we're almost at 3 hours. So yeah, so what I want to do is we'll let everyone else come on and talk. Whoever else comes on, also talk about the other 2 subjects. Try to be concise, and that way, when we circle back to the people that were on before, they can just talk about the final 2 subjects as well.
About the woke localizers.
About the woke localizers and.
I want to say something funny. My icon is Void from Berserk, but originally I wanted that scene from Austin Powers 3 where Japanese guy speaks and that moment where the subtitle says please eat some shit, and it's actually eat some shiitake. Like,
shiitake mushrooms, yeah.
That scene,
He's like, eat some shit. He's like, no, and he moved the plant out of the way, it was blocking the subtitles. I remember that.
Yeah, I wanted
hilarious.
that scene as my icon, but I
Who
changed
throws a shoe? Who the hell throws a shoe? Oh man, that's a fucking funny movie. But anyway, all right, so we'll do that. We'll do that. Everyone can talk about the localizers and stuff, and then we'll switch out. I mean, I guess since Frostbaron's here now, do you want to give even Madar? Do you want to give your thoughts on those 2 subjects quickly before we shift?
Yeah, we can do that.
Might as well.
Localizers. All I can say is that I saw that in subtitles sometimes. So that, for example, Golden Kamui, there is a moment where a character talk about Hokkaido it's an island from northern Japan, should become, invite people from all over the world and become multicultural. Subtitle says that, but I wonder, is the character in the anime actually says that, or just translators being, little sneaky?
Yeah, it's usually the translators being sneaky, especially when it feels out of place. That's why I think that if somebody has it, I really think that the ultimate way to enjoy that content is to just learn Jap. I know it sounds, I mean, that's not so easy, but to just learn Japanese, you'll never be at the mercy of localizers again.
Well,
To be
the
frank.
issue is that localizers now work very closely with the Japanese
Closely,
developers.
I know.
So
Dan to Dan.
so
Yeah.
the dialogue will be the exact same, just that it's dubbed with someone who's the Japanese voice actor or actress.
Well, it
It's
depends.
it's,
It
it's gonna
honestly,
be a lot of times it's gonna be like the exact same dialogue because of how closely they work with them early on within development. They even had said
But-
that with Sega with I forgot the guy in the RGG studio for the Yakuza games
yeah.
with
But it's
Infinite
still
Wealth. But he
it's
was
still
like
not
saying that.
universal yet. But it's still not universal yet. I
No, I
feel
know.
like
I
feel
know.
like there is still benefit because there's a lot of content that doesn't have the budget or the scope of like something like a Capcom or like an Atlas. So I would still say it's worth doing because it's unlikely that every single thing that's localized is going to be work. They're going to work with the localizers from the very jump. I would argue that probably a majority of the content isn't going to have localizers there from the beginning. So I still think that
I
still think
agree.
it's worth learning.
It's still worth learning, Japanese regardless.
It's still worth learning because there's tons of anime, manga, and even games that currently exist that are not. That localizing may have bullshit in it, but the actual like content doesn't have that in there at all. There's like no localized bullshit in the content if you actually just watch it in a native language. So I still think that's the ultimate like solution.
But you could watch it with, fan subtitles, like non-official subtitles made by, fans and such.
Yeah, that's valid too. That's valid too. Frostbaron, do you have an opinion on it?
Oh, you mean the localizer?
The localizers and the Borderlands thing.
Okay, I'll try to make this quick. Well, with it when it comes to Borderlands, here I thought that it couldn't get worse after the movie failed, but it seems Borderlands 4 has shown that the series is gonna take another L. I mean, yeesh, bad performance, and in addition to Randy Pitchford's comments before the game came out, and now, yeah, it just seems like Borderland is not doing good. And
No.
yeah, and and as for the woke localizer, unfortunately, that's been going on for a while, so it doesn't surprise me, especially with what we've seen with other Japanese companies and them trying to appeal to the West per se.
What they think appeals. You know what's the worst part? Japanese have been lied to. They're being told by these idiot localizers that people are wanting and asking for this stuff. But then you watch some of these anime, and not everyone in the United States talks like they're from a hood from Chicago or from New York City. So it's bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I mean, when you listen to like the dialogue that's been localized and the actors, the voice actors delivering it, they're literally talking with like hood slang from New York and Chicago. It's like, bro, that doesn't represent most of the country. So why is every anime localizing with that kind of dialogue?
Yeah, that's not
Like,
even
why am I?
including the fact that it doesn't fit in with the settings themselves.
Yeah, exactly. Like you're watching an anime and then you have this random character talk about how something's cap, and I'm like, what the hell am I watching? Like, what? Like, you do realize that at least 80% of the country is not like an urban environment. Like, what the fuck? So it's interesting, It's like
The only
it's kind of
anime I
crazy.
think that hood slang would fit would be Samurai Champloo, because that style. But I don't
Yeah,
know. I
but
watched that in Japanese too.
it's not even like that it's inherently bad on its own to use like that kind of language. It's just that it's just not appropriate for every anime because like shouldn't an anime that takes place in like a suburb that kind of is similar to a Midwestern suburb, shouldn't they have like more of like a Midwestern way of speaking if you're gonna go that far with the localization? Right? Like why are they talking like they're fucking from the hood? That's crazy to me. Like doesn't make sense. like for example, in the Dragon Ball Z game where they have Trunks talking about how something's cap. I'm like, why is Trunks saying this? Like, why is Trunks saying this? Like, don't they realize that? And on top of that, Dragon Ball Z is an '80s timepiece. People don't understand that Dragon Ball Z is a very much a product of the '80s and '90s. So why is he talking like he's from the 2020 and middle of freaking like he lives in Harlem in NYC in 2025? Like, what the fuck's going on, bro?
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, but that being said, yes, I think everyone got to talk here about their points. So let's shift the shift.
Borderlands, then I will go.
Okay, Madar, lay it on us, Madar.
All right. The Kyle Hickey quote I mentioned. One person that liked that quote was a man called Max Davenport. He works with Gearbox. He worked on Borderlands 4 too. Oh, and just to say about something, there were these character videos on YouTube. He was in that video, mentioned how this and this character, what can do and what's their backstory. And this Max guy, had painted fingernails. Just saying.
Yeah.
Big red flag.
Yeah, I agree. So let's switch things out and get everyone else on here so we can, make sure we're timely because we're already almost at 3:00.
Yeah. So thank you guys for coming on. Appreciate it as always. So you guys take it easy.
Thanks.
Take it easy.
I said 3:00. I meant 3 hours in. You guys know what I meant.
Yeah.
Speaking,
we started at 3.
Yeah.
And anyone new who came to the chat, hello, welcome. Thanks for stopping by. So let's bring on some other people.
Man, you hit my nose, huh? You're so old.
About damn time, man. What the hell is going on here?
Yeah, what's up?
Anyway,
Welcome.
if I want to play,
Hold on. Everybody settle down for a second. Hold on.
anyway,
What's up, guys? Sorry about that. How you guys been?
Everything is good. Everything's
Sorry
good.
about that. That was nothing. So screw goes to Yotei. I don't like that game. That game should be flopped because I don't like it. I wish we had the Saints Row 5 sequel to that game instead of that garbage.
No, Royce. We should have an actual Saints Row 3.
Yellow.
We should have an actual Saints
Welcome,
Row
OC.
3.
Sorry, hold on.
I wish we did.
Everybody slow down for a second, please.
Fine.
Thank you. All right, so I want to have us all speak in a certain order to make things timely. You guys came in here like you kicked down the door and it was like screaming. All right, let's go. So all right, so Royce, I want you to give your opinions first, then Marty, and then OC, and then OC will go. Actually, you, then OC, then Marty last.
Okay. I don't like the localizers. They should be fired. And second, Borderlands, that game is gonna be a massive flop because of Randy Loser, what he said. That's it.
Yep. And how do you feel about the localizers in general, and how do you feel about the Eric Aishi bullshit that goes to Yotei stuff?
Man, they should get rid of it. I hate what they said about Charlie Kirk's death, and the developers are celebrating, saying, "Yay, he died. He deserves it." I'm like, these people should lose their job. I'm sorry, they need to lose their job for real. Am I right?
Indeed, you're right. You shouldn't.
Yeah,
I mean,
if you get blacklisted, man.
Yeah, if you're talking like that, man, it shows you that there's a lack of humanity to you. It's kind of crazy. So.
Yup, it is lack of humanity.
By the way, not only take away their freedom of speech, take away equality as well, man.
Yup.
They've been abusing their. They've been abusing that. They don't want equality. They want oppression. So yeah.
They want to kill you instead of having unity. That's their problem.
Hmm.
They don't care.
And yeah, I want to say this that Erika Ishii, she may be a Japanese American, but she's not. She's not She's not an actual Japanese woman from the land of the rising sun. By the way, she's some American trash piece of shit, and she looks disgusting too, man. She looks disgusting and ugly as hell. She probably smells bad as well.
Yeah. So, OC, you want to give your thoughts on the subjects real quick, and then Marty will go last.
All right. What's the discussion in terms of this portion of the show? Hello? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a Erika Ishii, her comments and Ghost of Yotei boycott, the freaking Borderlands 4 things with Randy, and also the Localizer is working closely with people in Japan.
Well, somebody said one of the worst things to happen in terms of entertainment was the internet. And of course, people are allowed to say what they want to say, but of course, it's going to be broadcast. People are going to have their opinions, and it's just like it's very difficult not to pick a side. But the crazy thing is, we've reached a point where if you were to wear a Trump hat, the "Make America Great Again," they can equate it as mocking the death of a individual. So
Yeah.
this is peak clown world. It's going to be, I can kind of understand why they didn't drop her as yet in terms of her comments, because they have been producing about years of work with her, right, to make these kind of AAA games. So in terms of like going into the source code and all the different systems, and they recording the voices and all that kind of stuff, it's going to be a bit of a challenge to replace her. So she should be replaced, but in terms of replacing her, I can kind of understand how it's going to be very difficult to do that. And of course, if they choose to do so, the game is going to be delayed, and it's going to be probably months. But still, they have to find somebody to replace her and all that stuff. So
I don't think it's so much about replacing her as opposed to like people boycotting the game and not supporting it because she's in it. Because like in the end of the day, like even if they keep her as voice actor or whatever, which obviously they will, like the idea that they like don't publicly denounce some of the comments, or actually like say these are not our thoughts and opinions or whatever, like even that goes a long way, to even tell like the people, like the consumer, like, hey, we don't endorse these opinions, but we're far in development, these are like their opinions are not our own, blah blah blah. Like that does more for good faith than just staying quiet and basically condoning it by not condemning it. Because like it's not like they can ignore it. They can't ignore it.
Right.
They're still said it. Like they could pretend it doesn't exist, but it does. So either way, it actually makes them look worse. But we all know the real reason is because they actually agree with the thoughts and beliefs, whether they admit it out loud or not.
Right. And this is and when the game releases and the final sales totals, initial sale totals show up, then it's at the F around find out results will present itself, and these people they have a serious problem if you say this person should wear a red tie, and then they're going to pull off some nonsense saying, oh, do you not know that red ties represents oppression? And but
So find anything to take offense
it's
out.
crazy. It's crazy that you know, I mean, I wasn't even planning on playing it in the first place ever since the announcement of the character being cast, of all the people they could have picked, and just the idea how insufferable this individual is, right? So, you know, if you were to pick somebody that's actually Japanese to be the physical model, and then you have a professional person that's good at tumbling and, you know, have an idea about using weapons and stuff like that for the motion capture. And, you know, even if it, you know, it was her, just kind of cringed thinking about it, but even if she was like the voice actress, that kind of would make more sense. But her to be like the total package, the voice acting, motion capture, and being the physical references, it's I don't know, that's a hard pass for me. Even if she kept her mouth shut like a smart person, you know, I still wouldn't buy the game. And but the thing is also, it's like it's a bit weird that so many activists are trying to go into the AAA game route, and their games keep failing.
I don't mean to cut you off,
And
OC, real quick. Man on the Mountain,
yeah.
thank you for stopping by, chatting
Oh yeah, for sure.
in the chat. Appreciate you. Yourself a good night and a good rest of your week too.
Yep. Thank you, Man on the Mountain. Have a good night, and you know, hope you have, you know, hope everything goes well, whatever you're doing.
Right. Let's see what else. What
So
aside
OC,
from
back to what you're saying.
aside from Erica the Annoying, let's see what else we have here. Borderlands. Couldn't get into it. It's one of those game series that has too many sequels. You know, there's a lot of lore. I gotta watch a YouTube video, and you know, I don't feel like spending my life on that. And you know, I got other things to take care of.
I mean,
and so I can't
I
really say too much
7
on
years
that.
ago, and I couldn't get into it.
For me, like personally,
I didn't see the hype around it, so I don't know.
I always thought they were overrated myself. Like I played the first one and the second one. I always felt they were overrated. Like, but that's, I know that's more subjective, but I was never a fan of like Borderlands like that, to be honest. So to be fair, it's easy for me to avoid that game.
Yeah.
But but then again, like regardless, I probably wouldn't support it either way, even if I was.
Same.
I mean,
I heard the third one had issues too, like technical issues. I don't know if it was woke or not. I did hear that with 4 that I think the story involved with like taking out fascists or something like that, something along those lines. I think.
Right.
You know what's funny?
Journalist or whatever, but
you know what's funny about that? You can take out fascists by showing what they're doing without necessarily crying about fascism in a game. Like, for example, you can have a game like, look at a conquering army, right? Or like something like that, a conquering army, like dictating people's lives, controlling villages, and doing whatever. Like, look at Nilfgaard. Look at Nilfgaard in The Witcher, for example, The Witcher 3. You can portray that without making it a political talking point, because like true fascism, if you show true fascism, it's a universal thing that is despised. What I mean is, like, you don't have to tie it to some kind of alignment or some characterization based on what you think it is. Just the act of having like a group do fascist behaviors will automatically make somebody feel like they're the bad guys. So even then, you don't need to necessarily call something like fascism to present that.
Right. They're not clever about it. That's the other thing too. They're too low IQ.
They're on the nose.
And
yeah.
If Borderlands was Borderlands
writing, everything's like in your face.
Right. Yeah.
But look at Star Wars. Look at the Empire.
The Empire, they never straight up tell you they're the fascist, evil government like Hitler, blah blah blah. Like, but when you see their actions of how like their society is, how the Empire is in practice, you get the sense that they're fascists, and you know they're fascists because of what they're doing. So that's it. That's all you have to really do. And I feel like it's like you said, it's like low IQ writing, brain dead on the nose writing. It's shallow. It's terrible.
Look at those Imperial officers in The Empire Strikes Back. They don't seem like in your face evil. They just they either do your job or get killed. A situation like that, man. They're not
Just look at their society. They're not allowed to bad talk the Empire, right? They can't talk negatively about the Empire. The Empire infiltrates every aspect of their lives. They constantly have to look out. It's like it's no different from any fascist regime. So you don't have to be told that this is a fascist to understand that what's happening with the Empire is wrong. You can sense that it's wrong just by looking at it.
You fuck up once, or you fuck up at least once. Darth Vader will kill you with force choke,
and then also look how criminals are dealt with in the Empire. How they portray criminals or people that they like political opponents are dealt with within Star Wars. That tells you everything you need to know right there. So anyway,
exactly what you're saying, man. Exactly right. Because look what happened to Saints Row. We would have had for a long time. And Mr. Saint Godzilla exposed all this. We would have had that new Saints Row a long time ago. That would have been a big bang. But they screwed that up thanks to THQ Nordic and Deep Sober Loser saying, "Oh, it's too violent." Give me a break.
You should go on Saints Row 3, man. Saints Row 3.
I'm
not talking about Saints Row the Third, not Saints Row 3. Actually,
it wasn't the violence; it was the portrayal of gangs, and that's what they didn't like. They didn't like the nature of the gangs, like the way that they're portrayed. The thing they felt that it was offensive. That's why they changed it, not because of violence. It was because it's like to say like, oh, these people act like people from a certain group in certain parts of the world. It's like we don't like this. It doesn't look good, so let's change it.
Exactly.
So
we would have killed Dex. We would have killed Dex. It says 80% Saints Row 2, 20% Saints Row the Third.
Yeah. But I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. That it's not so much of like it's not so much of the violence. It's the optics of like the way the gangs are, and they didn't like it. They just didn't like that it was portraying certain groups like that, and they just decided that they wanted to go a different direction.
Yup, college loan bullshit, right, Marty?
Yep.
When we all know what Saints Row really was: gangs in the hood fighting for territory.
Yeah, man.
On some gangster shit. That's what the games always were, and that's what the games were sold on. And to try to remove that element because it hurts your feelings, because it might reflect the real world too much, was a cowardly thing that cost them a lot of money.
Yeah, dude. I mean, they could have evolved from a street gang to organized crime, man. Organized mafia, man.
Yeah. Yup. But again, that aspect of like the street gangs and like whatever, like that's what they wanted to like fight. It's what they were trying to like avoid. And it's just, obviously, especially considering what was happening political during that time. So crazy.
they can still keep the dark, fucked up comedy as first seen in Saints Row 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Well, it was satire in the end, right? In the end, it's satire. It's like Franklin. Like, Franklin. Franklin is like a gangbanger from the hood. Like, they go through every stereotype you can imagine in GTA 5, but it's satire. It's
unlike
hyperbolic.
GTA where each installment has different characters. Saints Row 1 and 2, they have established characters.
Well, let's look at it in a vacuum.
Yep.
If you have GTA, you have GTA 5. You play as a crazy stereotypical representation of a crazed hillbilly in Trevor, right? He's like a crazed white trash hillbilly within the game. Then you have Franklin.
Hipsters.
With Franklin, he was like a gangbanger from the hood, pretty much. No matter how you want to twist it that way, that's what he was. And then you have Michael, the rich white guy who has other dudes fucking his wife. Every single one of them were like a negative stereotype. So to say like that, Saints Row, you don't want to have these themes, it's like it's satire, it's hyperbolic. It mirrors
reality, but in a comedic way. Like that should be something that they should have no problem portraying, right? It's not like GTA 5 was like a serious hardcore drama, like about the ins and outs of living in like inner cities or whatever. Like it's completely satire. So why bother trying to censor yourself? And the reason why I'm bringing up GTA 5 is because Saints Row follows suit. Saints Row is like even more hyperbolic, even more satirical. Then it's like a satire about GTA, which is already a satire. So why even bother? Why bother trying to censor it? Like people are either going to play those games or they're not going to play it, and they sold well all these years before. And why would it stop selling now? The moment they changed it is when it started to do badly. But hold on, because OC was talking. So continue on, OC.
Right.
You know,
Now,
that-
when it comes to the what's that game we're just talking about? Oh man, I've been going through so much. Okay, when it comes to Borderlands, it should have been what I see. It should have been a comic series, because the thing is, it will be too expensive to make a animation series, and of course, we saw what happens when you make a movie. And the thing is that it should have been a comic series. It probably shouldn't be a video game series. It's too much lore. It's too much video and not enough game. You know, a lot of video games have this thing of, oh, we need to hire these comic book writers and all these movie writers, and of course, their mindset, the writers that they hire are their mindset is overly wordy, doesn't get to the point, doesn't really work with the story. Like, for example, there was this question about, can a video game make you cry, right? Okay, so probably, I don't know, something like the first Last of Us. That made some people upset, especially the beginning part, right? Joel lost his daughter. And that was very well done how they made it. But the irony of video games is that even though sadness is like this emotion that you are supposed to feel grief, you are causing, as a player, a lot of misery to the other side, you know. And but like I said, when it comes to that's just related to the story and video games, and I just feel like Borderlands probably shouldn't be a video game, because like I said, it's too much lore, too many characters, and you know, not everybody's going to be able to beat the game, but they want to know about the story. Let's see what else we have here. So we had but when it comes to Borderlands, also, I'm not really surprised that
What's that sound?
people. Can you
It
hear me?
sounds like, yeah, I can hear you, but it sounds like
that's not mine.
there's like a beeping in the back. It sounds like a smoke alarm.
Hold on for a second.
That's a
KCZ,
funny
thanks for,
stereotype.
I mean, but that's
must
what
be
it's.
some,
I mean,
must be frogs or crickets.
that is not a
Yeah.
frog or cricket, bro. That is
That's
100% a beep. That's a beeping, bro.
It's not
Yes,
a
that's
frog
a
either,
that's
man.
right.
Hold on,
But
no.
Frog
aside
sound
from
like like that.
right,
Hold on.
well,
KCZ, thanks
I
for
can
stopping
find
by. Thanks for
something.
coming on.
Wait, hold
Appreciate
on,
you.
just give me a second.
Chase
Let me
TZ,
find
I'll
some
catch you
other
later,
place
bro.
to talk.
Yeah.
Hold
Take
on.
it easy, KCZ.
Son of a
There
biscuit,
definitely
making me
is
look like a
there is a
stereotype.
chirping sound.
The smoke alarm
All right,
never lies.
I thought it was a bird,
Yup.
like a bird maybe. I
all
don't
right. Is that
No
better?
smoke
know.
alarm.
Or
Can you
a
hear me?
bird cage going back and
Yup.
forth.
Hello.
Yeah, you good.
Yup.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yep, you good.
How copy?
It's more faint now, but just go ahead. Just continue.
Right. Okay. So my
It's
thing
much better.
is, okay. So with the Borderlands thing, I'm kind of not surprised that those people would say some dumb stuff, because I don't know. It just comes off as eccentric people going around being eccentric, and you know they think that that's the other dumb thing is they think that this is a troll moment where, oh, you're being a snowflake because I mock somebody being killed. It's like, that's not how it works, right? Like, for example, if it was Anisia Sarkeesian, right? If something were to happen to her, God forbid, right? You know, that wouldn't be a victory, because there's going to be somebody that will pick up the torch, and they might be much worse than her. I hardly could imagine that's a possibility, but you know. So that's the thing I'm just trying to figure out is like what's the point? You make fun of people that lost somebody just because they agree with certain opinions with them. And like Jinpachi said, he didn't agree with everything with Charlie Kirk. But at the same time, it's just like that's the other weird thing about it, is that with these people, it's like you can agree with one thing with this person and be upset that they died, but with them it's just like, oh, why are you upset because somebody that has not committed any like crimes, like white collar crimes, scamming people, killed anybody, touched people, right? So they were not accused of any of those things. Because they hurt somebody's feelings, they should pass away. If you are upset because somebody says something to the point that they need to leave existence forever, you need to get your head checked. You seriously need to get your head checked.
Yeah.
Yup.
Because that's just crazy. There was a third thing where you were talking about. There was a third thing?
It was the localizers.
Localizers. Okay.
But you know what? If you have to,
specifically a woman.
if you don't have a strong opinion though, you don't necessarily have to talk about it, because you know we are limited on time. So if you're just kind of like vaguely like gonna speak about it, you know, it's probably better to just like move on.
Okay, localizers, really quick. Localizers, the most worthless set of people
Well,
in.
specifically this female localizer she's gonna apparently be working with a game company in Japan very closely. In Japan.
What?
So yeah, that's
Yeah,
who we're talking
okay,
about.
that's wonderful.
No.
Oh hell no!
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
Ban her from. No. Don't, not just ban her from
There,
the company. Ban her from
there's
Japan.
speculation
Period,
it's going to
man.
be Atlas, because she has worked with Atlas
Yup.
before.
Well, was she the
Yes,
one that is?
Localization
I
for
was
13 Sentinels. I don't know if anyone played that game.
No,
I have.
never
I
did.
have the game
no.
on PS4, and I also have Dragon's Crown, and I have fucking.
Ooh, Dragon's
some of
Crown.
my
Let's go.
games, man.
That's sick.
I mean, the only thing.
Yeah,
The only thing stupid is that it does not have a fully Japanese audio, but however,
right.
the only
But
Japanese audio you'll have is your main character. That's it.
Dragon's Crown went crazy in the paint with those
Right.
female designs. I ain't gonna lie, but
Yup.
that's a whole
It
nother
really did, yeah.
conversation. I
But
almost bought the
13
game.
Sentinels, I have the game too. It's actually really good. Unfortunately, yeah, it has some localization issues. She worked on that. I don't know what other game. She probably worked on Unicorn Overlord, which was like really fucked up from the localization, which is why I never bought
No, dude.
it.
No, she's
Yeah.
the real reason why Persona 5 Royal and
I think
Castle Full
she
Body got censored, man.
maybe she won the
Yup.
Shin Megami Tensei games, but I don't know if that was like
Maybe.
how bad that turned out to be. But so she's been around. I don't know what other company she worked for, but she's like notoriously known as like a really fucked
Localizer
up
number
person
one.
who like where she like changes how things are, because don't want to offend people from the West and all that, and it's like disrespectful, first of all, because
Made
you're
up BS.
altering someone's work, what someone did, just
And also,
because to
you're
not
speaking
offend
for
people
a
like
you're speaking for a country that has a divisive political beliefs. So like you can't really speak for the whole
Yeah.
country and say offend people in the West, because what could offend one group might not offend the other, but the active removal of that thing could offend the other group. So either way, you're not going to be able to appeal to everyone. It's better to just have the creator's true vision and let the people
and not to
decide for
mention-
themselves.
Oh, let's alter people's name, like for example, like Kuma from Persona 4 is changed to Teddy for outside Japanese release, and Futaba's code name was always Navi, but then they changed their name to Oracle. Like, come on, man. It sounds too white.
So let's segue then, because you seem to kind of be more invested in the localizer thing. Why don't you, Marty, give us your thoughts, since you were supposed to speak last anyway?
Yeah. So
On all three subjects.
Before we get to that, if I want to watch Yu-Gi-Oh, I should watch the original uncut and uncensored Japanese version of Yu-Gi-Oh. Okay, because I'm not gonna watch no 4Kids dubbed fucking TV version. I mean, and it's been like 2 decades since there aren't any true English localization dub of Yu-Gi-Oh. But yeah,
But Marty,
and
let's get back on topic.
Let's focus on the subject. So do you remember what they were?
All right, so Ghost of Soy Toy, fuck that, and Erika Ishii, like I said, she may be a Japanese American, but she's not an actual Japanese woman from the land of the rising sun.
Yeah.
And fuck that ugly ass hoe, by the way. And I don't mean to go too far, but let's just say oops, oh, I just said it. She's some sperm cell that should have been aborted long time ago. Oh, oops. Should have said it. Well, who cares?
Yo, Y chromosome. He said he's hitting the shower, but he's lurking. All right, bro.
Freaking her and not her. That piece of shit in the game goes to Yotei Soy Toy. There's the reason why I gave up my chance to play Ghost of Tsushima.
I wouldn't say she should have been aborted, but she damn sure shouldn't be anywhere near video games.
It was a joke.
Yeah, I know, but just saying for like the people watching, because it's kind of hypocritical to say that to a degree. So joke or not, it's like I wouldn't want someone to be aborted just because I think they're a dickhead.
But I went too far.
I'm just saying, like, if someone tuned in, they might be like, "Yo, this, like, that's kind of hypocritical based on what we're talking about." That's why I want to make that distinction.
Yeah. So. Yeah.
I know.
All right, man. But anyway, the game, it ruined my chance on playing. Before that game ever happened, I always wanted to play Ghost of Tsushima because I thought it looked cool and maybe kind of remind me of Akira Kurosawa's movies. And that's one of the games that really wanted me to buy a PS5 to begin with, and then the fucking Ghost of Yotei. Yeah, it came in picture, and I was like, yeah, you know what? Fuck it, that's not gonna happen anymore. I gave up on that, and Sucker Punch sucks, and hope they go bankrupt, just like how Enron goes bankrupt. And
exactly.
Borderlands 4. Anyway, before we go, Borderlands 4. All I can say that.
Yeah.
And Erika Ishii, she's a disgrace to Japanese people and Japanese culture. Period.
Yeah, I mean, she's not really Japanese culture. She doesn't have Japanese culture. She's a liberal American that happens to be Japanese descendant.
Yeah, yeah. And the one why she looks ugly and she probably smells bad too. And Borderlands 4. I didn't even know if Borderlands 4 exists. And that's my point.
Yeah, I'm with you. I could care less about it, honestly. I find those games overrated. I'm with you on that.
And it looks nothing like the actual previous Borderlands game anyway. Just like how the upcoming so-called Fable or reboot. It's just a woke game that uses the name of Fable. It's just brand recognition.
It's an abomination and with the name only. It's the property and name only. I agree.
Yeah.
Yup.
All right. So I think that
And-
everyone. Oh, go ahead. Continue on.
Oh wait, hold up. Okay, so I want to mention something about the localizer, right?
Okay, go ahead.
So here's
I was
the thing
about
about
to say that
localizers,
too, man.
especially with the modern audience localizer. Here's the irony of it. They are going to translate something from a different culture. These are the same people that have this ideology where they state, we must ensure that the people of foreign lands and culture is respected. But at the same time, you said this is offensive and we need to change this. Now, I can
Well,
understand. Yeah, that's the funny thing, right?
yeah.
So,
These motherfuckers are offensive to the original intended Japanese vision. Like, come on,
right,
man, come the fuck on, man. Just like how
exactly.
even before
And
even
here's the
before the
other
whole
thing.
culture war shit happened, they've been doing that fucking shit, especially fucking Atlas. They like for like I said, they changed Kuma's name into Teddy, which sounds so corny as fuck. Like, and Futaba Sakura's Phantom Thief name Navi to Oracle. Like what's next? You're gonna keep up with that shit like on Persona
Yeah.
6 or something?
Well, they're
Come
gonna
Yup.
on,
do that.
man.
They're gonna always do that. That's the nature of localization. It's just changing things. It's literally the idea that you're changing things just for the sake of it. Because somebody who's really into Japanese culture is not gonna care if it's like heavily Japanese influence. It doesn't have to the idea of localization implies that there's something wrong with like that people that are not of that thing that's being localized are not going to be able to relate to it. But I think that anyone who's an anime fan or like a fan of like Japanese games or whatever in the past, which is most of those people that play those RPGs anyway, I don't think that they'll be bothered if something has a distinct Japanese feel to it. I mean, that's just like most people that watch anime watch with subs anyway, and a lot of the subtitles pre-localization, like the more like legacy anime fans, they were watching like pretty like roughly translated Japanese, right? Kind of like how Itachi in Naruto, if you listen to like a direct sub, was talking about a vessel. And I've seen subs that were like talking about a vessel as a container, like literally. So people that are fans of this stuff are willing to tolerate direct translations anyway. So I don't think that they necessarily need hardcore localizing. They don't need to have like localizers in the companies from the jump. I think that's just a fake problem that was created by people who wanted to infiltrate that market, that group, whatever
And
that niche.
Now,
Yup. Exactly,
even if
now when it
Jimmy.
you
comes to
even if you try playing, even if you even if you play like for instance yeah, every non-Japanese release that features the original Japanese audio, even if you play the original Japanese audio on like Persona 5 for instance, there it's the Japanese audio will not match the subtitles or the text on non-Japanese release because these English texts are created specifically for the English dub. And they do not want to give us an option to like not only implement the original Japanese audio but also have the original have the English text like closer like 100% matches to the original Japanese audio exclusive to Japanese audio, and they they never ever include that for us who are really want to hear it the way it's intended. That means that
Yeah, I agree
That's
with
you're
you,
why.
man.
and
That's why the thing that you have to do, I think, the best outcome, unfortunately, is because you can't rely on the localization anymore. You have to like
yeah,
the best outcome is to just learn the language and listen to it in its raw language, and then
yeah,
interpret it on
Yeah.
exactly.
your own. That really
And
is the end game, honestly, because ultimately that's the only way you can ensure that what you're reading or listening to
Exactly,
is the
exactly,
Zimmy's.
actual
man.
intended audio.
And if you're lucky, if you have a PC, if you're really lucky, look for maybe you're maybe fortunate enough to look for a PC fan mod that will mod the game to make the English text closely to the Japanese audio. That's only if you're a PC gamer. But as for
Yup.
those who do not own a PC and still stuck with consoles, yeah, you're unfortunately stuck with it unless you have to get a PC or start learning Japanese.
Yup.
Yeah. Also, there,
I
like,
want to say,
honestly, I don't really condone, like, I'm not really like a big proponent of AI, but I think that that's actually a good usage of it because there's a lot of AI now that can interpret what's being said real time.
yeah, and I
So
agree with you, man. And like I said,
they're
this is
asking.
ridiculous.
Well, let me
But
just add. Let me just add this real quick. They're asking. I think a smart person would make an app that you can link to video, whatever video player you're using, so that you basically use the technology of the real time translation, and then you have it display overlaid onto the video that you're watching. That way, you can actively translate things and have like more of a literal translation, which would give you like better control over like the content. I think that that's an app that would make a lot of money actually, especially for like anime fans and whatnot.
yeah,
Yeah,
and what I was saying is, I'm tired of these people. Fuck their feelings. Fuck Antifa. Fuck Deep State. Fuck all of them because I'm getting tired of it.
Yeah.
yeah, me too, man.
Seriously, man. Like, they ruin our favorite IPs. Look at all our favorite franchises now in the toilet. Thanks to them.
Yeah, they've been ruining our shit since almost 2 decades. Thanks to this fucking bitch. I'll need to miss. I don't give a fuck if I pronounce her name. I don't give a fuck. I
That
hate
was
that
funny.
bitch. She
Me
All
ruined.
right.
too,
She
man.
ruined gaming.
All right. So
She's one
hold
reason
on.
why.
Hold on a second, because OC was giving his final thoughts, right? So
Yeah.
OC, go ahead, finish your thoughts, and then I think we're gonna close out because
Oh
we've
yeah.
been on for
Where's
a
OC?
while. OC is still here, I think.
Oh,
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, he left. I think he left. Okay, so I don't know if OC is gonna come back. He's gone now, but let's try to wrap things up and close out because it's almost 3:30. I think it might be already 3:30. It is 3:35. So let's try to close things out.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
OC, is OC still backstage? Let me check the comments.
He's
Okay.
backstage. It's 3:42 on.
Okay, you went back. You're backstage now. Yeah. So, all right, OC, if you want to come back on, you can finish up your thoughts, but we're gonna close out soon. So I don't know if you want to do that.
I think he's having technical problems or something. I don't know why. That's why he got kicked out or something.
Yep.
Maybe, I don't know.
Or he probably left because I'm not sure, man. Oh, and he also said he's still here. I'm reading the backstage chat.
Yep.
All right. So yeah, if you want, do you want to come back on and give your final thoughts or not?
Is Reverend still here as well? Maybe you could just let him back in.
Yep.
And
All right. So
unfortunately,
we'll leave it at that. Hold on. Give me 1 sec, guys. Give me 1 sec, please.
Go ahead.
1 second, please.
Yeah, Marty. I'm just sick and tired of this, man.
And unfortunately, the poor English translation will be carried on into Persona 4 remake.
Yeah.
Don't be surprised that it's gonna get censored too, because
I
after all,
know.
it's been developed for years
Yeah.
ago.
And I'm gonna get the Lego Batman, the Dark Knight Legacy game. It looks amazing. It combines Arkham games, and I'm so gonna play that, man.
Lego?
Yup.
Oh yeah, I have Lego Star Wars the complete saga on the
Oh, you mean Skywalker
360 and
Saga, right?
PS3.
It
No,
looks like it looks
on
like
the
it's gonna be.
PS3 and 360
It
and
looks like it's gonna be okay.
Steam.
The Lego Batman game looks like it's gonna be all right. Like it has like that kind of like Arkham style of countering. It looks like you have all those different
Yeah.
like costumes and so I think it'll be good.
Oh yeah, that game looks good, huh, Jibachi? You saw the different Batmobiles too, huh?
Yeah, it looks. I normally don't play Lego games, but I might get that. I probably won't get
Oh,
it full
there he's
price,
back. He's back.
but maybe I'll get it at some point. All right, so OC, give us your final thoughts, and then we're gonna close out. All right.
Okay, other thing about the localizer. Now, I can understand the localizers in the beginning of anime's explosion, right? Because, especially for kids shows, because they didn't have the resources, for kids to look up and see, oh, what's the rice ball in terms of like in Pokemon, right? So they changed it to some donuts or something. So I can kind of understand why certain things would have been changed so it wouldn't be so alien to American kids. But now we have the internet, no excuses. Don't touch it. Just translate it directly as it is. It'll make it faster. And I don't know why these people had to stress out trying to change something just because their feelings get hurt. And that's my last comment when it comes to any kind of discussion today. And so go on at it.
Yep.
All right. Well, I wanted to be
Right.
fair and let you finish your thoughts because you definitely didn't get to do so. All right. So everyone, guys can give your outros. I'll start with Marty, then Royce, then actually OC give your outro, then Marty will give his, then Royce will give his, and then we'll end the stream there.
Yep.
Okay. I'm OC. I am the owner of the Octomind video game and webcomic company, creator of the Octavio Camacho series, that's still continuing. And I am grateful to be on this show again with Revenant and Jimpachi. And Revenant, good luck with getting your video back up because that is very unfortunate. And
I'll be
and
uploading the
it's
edited version.
right, and it's also a honor to be on a stream with a fellow video game dev, and wish you good luck with what you're doing, Jimpachi. And really, really was surprised and delighted to hear that you're really getting invested in this venture. And I wish you good luck, and everybody else. Thank you for stopping by and sharing your input. And you all have a good day, morning, wherever you're at. Be good. And I am out of here.
Yep. Same to you. Have a good night, good day, good afternoon. Good afternoon, I think, or good evening, rather. But anyway, have a good one.
Yeah, it
And
was great
thanks for
having you
coming
on
on.
again.
We appreciate your opinion, and for sure, once more of my game is done, I'll show it off. I appreciate the well wishes toward, and that's awesome. So yeah, man, thanks again, and see you on the next one, hopefully.
Yep.
All right, so Marty, why don't you give us your outro?
This is Mari Kusanagi, and about earlier, I don't mean to go too far. I only did just get it out of my chest, but fuck Erika Ishii, by the way. She's basically Shinsei Nakamura just had a sex change. And I'm not even kidding.
Wow.
And
That was funny.
even Shinsei Nakamura is a lot more handsome. I'm not being gay, but he's a lot more good looking than fucking.
And she is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this Mark Kusanagi, and of course I won't be here next Sunday because I'm gonna be on a trip to Cali. Oh, oops!
Oh, nice.
Cali to visit my relatives.
All right, man.
Oh,
Watch out
good.
for those
And
leftists.
I know, man. I gotta be careful and protect myself, and keep my mouth shut too, man. And
Yep.
Yeah, you never know with these leftists.
Yep.
this is why I'll be back home from Cali on Sunday, so that's why I won't be on the StreamYard.
Okay, no problem.
Watch out for those
And-
leftists, bro. But yeah,
And just for the record, I did not get a Switch 2. Thank God.
Mhm.
yeah, can't be
I don't know.
supporting Nintendo with this BS. But all
Me
right, man.
neither.
So thanks for coming
However-
on. We appreciate you. Oh, go ahead. Continue.
However, I gotta get a Switch OLED before it gets phased out by
Yeah, and also before they raise the price on it, I think they might have already raised the price on it. So you should probably get that as soon as possible if you're gonna get it.
On the white Switch OLED.
Yeah,
Good thing they did not raise the price on the regular colors of Switch OLED.
Yeah. All right, man. So thanks
Yeah.
for coming on. We appreciate it, and hope you have a good night, good
Yeah, as
day,
always.
Peace.
and all that. So, all
Yeah,
right.
take it easy, Marty.
All right. So,
Royce, right?
Royce. Yes, Royce.
All
You
right,
want to
all
give
right.
your last
My name
your
is
outro?
Royce Royce, and I hope Jim Pachi's game will be successful. I want him to see how his game will be awesome and his stuff will be carried on. And Remnant, I hope you get your video back, and I hope you post
Thanks.
more about these people.
Yo, I
And
will.
and I'm gonna get Lego Batman game because it looks amazing, and the fighting, the Arkham, and I'm gonna get the Sonic Racing game because it's so much better than Mario Kart World. You know, if I see any game
Yep.
has any identity politics and woke in it, I'm gonna vote my wallet, put it in my pocket, and never buy it. So I'm glad I did not buy the
That's
Switch
how it has
too.
to
It's
be.
garbage.
Yeah, it
You
really
know.
is. Fuck it.
And I hope Jinpachi, your game will be successful, and I wish for your success and your career. And I hope you get take my video game ideas for you to make games together someday. You know. And I hope we punish these people, and I hope all these woke developers will be punished. Am I right?
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you, man. I really do. Let's see how it goes, man, because it's still early on,
Yeah.
and like it's just gonna be like a small game, but we'll see how it goes. But thank you, I appreciate it, and maybe one day, yeah, we could work together. Who knows? You never know.
Yeah, we
Um,
should, man.
but all right, so thank you for coming on. We appreciate it. Thanks for giving your opinion.
Yup.
And as for me, I'm Japachi. Everyone knows who I am at this point. You know, I have
Yup.
a channel. I do some Arkham stuff, a lot of Arkham gameplay. I've been streaming a lot lately, so you
Yup.
could check out my streams on Thursdays, which is like the main day that I will guaranteed you'll see me stream on Thursdays. But other days in the week, sometimes I stream too, various
Yup.
games. I had an animator. I have some of my animations up on YouTube. I'm working on a
Sick.
couple things. I have like a series I'm working on, but again, it's kind of on hiatus right now, but I'm still planning on continuing it. I'm also working on the game, so we'll see how that goes. If you're interested, you could check out my channel. If not, that's fine too. And as
Yep.
always, thanks for always appreciate Revenant as a co-host, and we'll see everybody next time.
Yup.
All
And
right,
I hope you
guys.
get the Lego Batman or Lego Batman game soon, the new one.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe I'll end up with it. But yep. So everyone,
Yup.
thanks for tuning in, and yeah, see you in the
I
next one.
brought Apollo
See you
back
next
on
time.
because he didn't give his thoughts on the other subjects.
Oh
I
yeah,
mean, he's pretty quick with it, so he can probably.
For
yeah.
sure, Apollo.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
let us know.
okay, my thoughts. I'll say it simple and fast. Borderlands. Okay, get that company out of my state of Texas. Get that company out of here. I don't want that crap around anywhere. Well, it could be in Houston or Austin, the bad areas, the wokey areas where the big time liberals are all at. The game looks like a $5 Walmart game. And I agree. The Backlash, they deserve it big time. I think I would pay for $5 for that game than paying $80. Like simple. I mean, it looks like a $5 game. It's a $5 bargain at the cheap shelves on Walmart. And then the woke localizer in Japan, that's a big insult at Japanese people. Japanese
Definitely is.
people are very cultural, kind people, and you're spitting on their faces and their favorite stuff. Why hire a Western woke person that hates Japanese people and their culture? It's disgrace, heavily disgrace, and it's like their government bringing in illegal weirdos in their country. It's a disgrace. Japan, I'm hoping Japan could just wake up and say, yeah, we don't want this in our video games. Yeah, just stop hiring Western people, and hopefully their countries say, put their foot down. Hey, we're done with BlackRock in our video games and entertainment. That's what I can say with that. Yeah.
Well said. Well said.
Yeah, it was definitely.
Oh yeah.
You want to give your outro, Apollo?
Yeah. I'm heavily active on Rumble. I do a lot of live streams and a lot of video uploads. I keep that sometimes like an everyday thing, doing content on Rumble, then YouTube. YouTube is turning into a cesspool, turning into blue sky.
I gave you a follow on Rumble, just so you know.
Yeah, I followed back. I followed back.
Oh, cool. Thanks.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm very active on the community posts on my YouTube channel. If I want to post a YouTube video on my channel, I'll be letting people know, hey, like, I'll be doing some live stream or something like that, but nothing any crazy on the YouTube channel. But yeah, that's what I can say. It was awesome being on the stream.
Yep. Sounds good. Definitely give him a follow on Rumble. Check him out. Puts up pretty cool base content. And
Yep.
yeah, Paulo, it's been great having you on again. Of course, you're welcome to come back anytime, and appreciate you.
All right, Ref. So I think that was it for today. Thanks for everyone
Yeah.
who tuned in. It's been a lot of
Yeah,
fun.
thanks for
We'll
everyone.
probably.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, thanks for everyone who checked out the stream. If you're watching on the replay, thank you. Everyone in the chat, appreciate you as well. I will be re-uploading the video that was taken down tomorrow, and if you want to see the uncensored version, it will be on Rumble tomorrow as well. And don't worry, I'll still be very active on YouTube. Rumble is just like an alternative to archive stuff, basically. But anyway, thank you all. Appreciate it, and have a good rest of your day, rest of your night, wherever you're at. So, peace.
See ya. Peace out.